time.
DOTA time indeed. Let's get back into the lower bracket here. Game 1, best of 3. Team Liquid taking on Heroic, and as Caps and Slacks were saying, there's some little nuggets of information. Bat left in for Whisper, one of his classic signature heroes, and then Nisha shifted onto the Lina.
Yeah, Lina, a hero we haven't seen at all in our games. We get to see it mid. We were talking about different heroes that can lane against the Viper. It's not a very big roster that actually feel comfortable against him, but a good laning start here with a nice body block getting on the high ground. Lina can be one of those problematic heroes for Viper to deal with.
Absolutely can. And panel talking about Tai Lung and these first moves. Caf saying that this young player sees Viper quite differently. Notices all the little building blocks that can actually get you into this early game domination stage. We'll be looking towards that early rotation to bottom lane to safeguard Yuma and that Wisdom Shrine, which he so regularly contests.
Yeah, it will be hard for him to be as mobile as the Lina, though. Viper, not necessarily a super fast hero, but if he can get off to a good start, maybe he can make those connections to the side lane, come in with the ulti, especially onto Tide, as Gunnar pointed out. This can be really strong to break him early.
Yeah, curious to see what the item builds are, because we've had Viper go for, bongo boots or boots of travel, deciding kind of how fast you want to play, and Lina has been a similar story. Guardian Greaves mentioned, we've had previously magic damage Lina, physical damage Lina, but she's also a hero that can go boots of travel too.
Yeah, and with the travels, she could play very fast in some of the setup that they have on their team. They have Tiny, they have Bane, good heroes to catch people on the side lanes.
And I'd imagine they're looking at Nisha's quick buy. Yeah, boots of travel after the couple of nulls and bottle queued up already. So should be able to keep tempo with the Viper and his moves.
And Nisha just doesn't strike me as a player who wants to go for Greaves first on Lina. It is a certain 5-man type Dota playstyle, and Nisha quite often more farm-oriented, play towards his own strength.
Yeah, play back, farm jungle, and then join when you are needed. So far, 8-2. Compared to the Vipers 4-3, or 4-4 now. So Nisha ahead ever so slightly in that early laning stage with the first couple of waves going pretty well for him.
Yeah. Tofu on the Bane. Definitely a clear advantage against Tusk in the laning stage. Tusk with boots can't really drag the waves the way he wanted to. He tried to go for it there. Gonna miss. So his top lane is already starting to look pretty good for the SF and Bane.
Yeah, Bane, one of the best heroes at stopping any lane shenanigans, making sure these melee +4s are shut down somewhat. And they're going head-to-head with a poison attack stacking up, and Nisha's got the better of Tai Lung. First blood, mid lane, solo kill.
Yeah, Nisha gets the outplay. He tried to contest the top water rune, got there a little bit too late, and then there's that thing where Lina is just a really fast hero.
8 sticky stacks on Mickey, but the Nightmare save and the turnaround raise. Boxy's arrival, speed from Liquid, coming in with tempo to blow up the bat. Mickey stands his ground, he's tanking through it all. Deal the core, can't kill him off! Ooh. Liquid, 3-0 start.
Fantastic start for the lanes. Mickey gonna get some heal from the healing loaders coming in as well. Bane happy to pass him some tangles. Give him any bit of resource he can.
That's got to feel so good as Liquid. Boxy's first move, Nisha's first kill. Incredible beginnings to this game. And then Ace, happy as you like, dragging wave behind his tower to keep on farming.
Oh, Mickey dropping pretty low. Healing Lotus is ready to save him though.
That is spooky. Shards will miss though as Mickey gets further to the north to dodge any further aggression.
Top lane definitely the place to look. As the pull happens, they could try and dive with this. Whisper already stacking up Tofu.
They've got a full wave and a glyph on it arriving, so Tofu dive by Theolacor and Whisper. Mickey trying to raise and successfully so, kills off the Tusk. Yes, they lose the Bane, but the turnaround play, Liquid. Oh, it's glorious. They get 2 in the trade.
Gotta love Boxy showing up and literally just auto-attacking. Yeah,
just tri-laning?
Tiny with no mana, just slapping him a little bit. Like, yeah, you go down.
I mean, we've seen this previously in the past, oh, we're against the Terrorblade, let's go gank him in the tri-lane. Oh, mid lane, I've got a strong hero, let's go tri-lane there. Tri-laning your safe lane, something we don't see very often, but Boxy basically making it work.
I mean, we've been seeing it a lot, how moves towards safe lane, just TPing and reacting. It's not necessarily that you start out with the mentality that, oh, we're going to play hard towards this lane. It's adaptation to how the game is going. If they're tower diving, you TP.
Where's Mickey? Where's Mickey going? They're ganking mid lane. The tri-lane has moved middle lane. It's a quad lane from Liquid onto Tai Lung to blow up the Viper. Nightmare and a toss back on Theolacor. He's got no snowball. He spent his shards and another kill, a 7-1 start.
Wow, no team that you and I have cast have had this type of start against Heroic. Heroic are always the team that come out swinging. You know, early game is their strength, has been their strength throughout the games that we've been casting. Liquid are addressing it hard.
We had this exact conversation during our cast yesterday, right? Talking about Heroic, and I think Liquid was the only team's name that came up as even being close to the speed at which Heroic plays, but usually as a reactive play. Ace being run at here by Yuma, Thealacor, and KJ. They've got enough damage eventually to tickle him down. Took a while though, as Ace is quite tanky on his own. Meanwhile, Bat, Nightmare toss back into the Avalanche and Razors. Whisper, his signature Bat Rider being annihilated as we've got 7 lasting presence stacks on Mickey's Shadow Fiend.
Yeah,
where's your armor now?
It's just chain feed at this point. You have to wait out the stacks, but at the same time, you need to get experience from lane. Minus 18 armor.
God,
you're not fighting
bonkers.
This. It's funny how the little 60 damage auto attack is gonna suddenly do 100 damage.
Mental. Incredible speed from Liquid. And now Nisha, level 6 on this Lina. Having got that solo kill first blood halfway through level 6, double nulls plus bottle up, tons of damage output from this mid lane now.
And they get the DD rune spawning top as well. That's why he's the GOAT. He gets the rune, Scareth.
They need another kill. They know that this lasting presence is about to time out, man. They can't let it wear off.
Yeah, they want to produce more, but sadly, Batrider is respecting it way too much. He's not going to feed into the SF again. We're not going to get 8 stacks at minute 7. A bit too early.
Heroic, no, they need to break free of Liquid's grasp, trying to make a twin gate play up to top.
Everybody is coming for this.
Usually we see them play into this safe lane to contest the Wisdom Shrine, but they know they've got to come back to defend their own. Mickey out in the open, getting wrapped around on, goes for the Requiem because there are no more stuns after the snowball. Hid in the trees, tucked away, forces them back with a fear, and they can't follow through. Lucent Beam didn't come in, while Tofu and Boxy, they're on the Viper. Nisha's double damage rune into Whisper, the Laguna Blade. Half HP Bat gets up on the high ground and stays alive for now. With the Fatal Bolts out, they try to turn and battle with King Jungles there, but they lose 2! Nisha with a double kill, Snowball, Lucent Beam, finally Heroic gets something! But they've lost so much already!
That was really costly for them. The stolen Wisdom Room as well. They do get some kills on the back of it, but SF lived and walked away. Luna just didn't ulti, or didn't stop the ulti with her Lucent Beam. She had the cast range. I'm not sure if there was some miscommunication happening.
Or it got into fog? Yeah, I couldn't figure it out.
No, it was definitely in vision.
That's after the fact.
Replay, we can already see him walking away happily. So Mickey back to farming immediately. Went working on his power treads. Then we see the DD rune just standing tall because of it. Everyone kind of running away.
I mean, overall, Heroic getting some big kills there. 1,200 gold going their way. A decent swing in net worth as Yuma picks up the double kill. Important to give it to the carry hero for sure, but it doesn't stop there. They've got to keep this train running. And snowball towards Boxy. Invis countered by Sentry, but the toss back under tower puts Thealacor in an awkward spot. Laguna Blade and the right clicks from Nisha. Plenty damage to take him down.
Very nice toss back, recognizing that, you know what, just throw him to mid laner. He's going to happily throw an ulti on him.
But man, Whisper has been shut down so much. Not even 2,000 net worth. Not even level 6, 8.5 minutes in.
And more importantly, he does have a point in Flame Break, so this is the fighting build. It doesn't recover as fast. He doesn't have maxed out Firefly. It's going to be pretty rough for him. The journey back, 16 CS only.
And it's a little bit reductive, a little bit linear, but these heroes, Viper and Batrider, magic damage, right? Lots of magic damage, very good early on, very good tempo, can play fast. If they get shut down early and you're looking at Lina SF, the double turret, which Gunnar has been saying this meta so far in the tournament, relying on these kind of turret heroes just to stand there and deal damage. If they get BKBs, I really worry for Heroic to deal with them.
We have a setup up top, Sleep pulling him in, SF races. Not gonna get him killed, but does bring him extremely low again, and he does not have Tranquil Boots. I think more importantly as well, it's the fact that they have all the physical damage needed to go through Viper's high magic resistance.
Yes.
Viper typically a hard hero to kill if you only have magic damage. But when you have both Lina and SF, either of them could kill the Viper quite quickly. And on the side of Heroic, like you mentioned, the magic damage is going to be their key damage output early game. If Ace goes for a pipe, How is that going to feel?
Rough. And now Ace, he's got himself a quickened chipped vest. So even faster farming through the jungle. He clears out that bottom wave and looks to join his team. Minute 10. Rune spawns top. A shield rune there, not going to be grabbed. Boxy is sprinting forward towards Tai Lung.
Can get the range. Toss
Very
back as possible.
speedy Tiny puts the Viper onto Tide. Snowball saved though by some time. Snowball back towards Nisha, but the Ravage on 3 catches them out. Theolacor and King Jungles trying with the Fatal Bonds to run forward with Yuma. They've picked up a kill on Tofu, but Tide Hunter's going to slip away. And
Running
Boxy
to safety. Batrider TPing, trying to go behind.
trying to catch Nisha on the back end of the fight, but the Avalanche provides enough cover. Boxy, the umbrella of safety here, might just be the sacrifice, but he tosses Batrider back. Lasso's still ready, though. They're going to have to spend it, right?
I think he did.
Maybe not.
He did. There's nobody TPing. No help. They're looking towards SF now. SF does have Bane nearby behind him, so even if they do commit on Mikke, it might be turned around by Bane's Nightmare.
21 kills in 11 minutes. Very, very high-octane game.
Yeah, we kind of knew it was going to happen with these two teams clashing heads against each other.
Theolacor's being set up on. The Nightmare. Sleepwalk again, back into the Shadow Fiend. Boxy's Avalanche provides the stun to stop the Snowball. In effect, acts as a root against the Tusk.
Yeah, very nice combination. These heroes work so well together. Tiny can toss on to the SF. We have the Bane to set up for SF Night races as well, even for the ulti. There's two supports that really complement Mikke's hero.
And this Lina, about 1,000 ahead of the Viper. We see that earlier boots of travel. Viper has just finished his, but Lina is already well on her way to the Dragon Lance. So more stats, more range.
Looking from the lens of Heroic, though, they're on the back foot. They have some things that didn't go their way. The Batrider struggling a lot. But Luna, she is 5-0-1. She's top farmer right now by a mile. And she has a really, really ramping build with the Mask Madness into the Manta style. From there, already queuing up the Aghanim Scepter. I think that could be the pivotal point when they can start taking big fights.
Nisha and Boxy sat mid. Having already taken that top tier 1 and having 2 Dire Observer wards watching from top left corner through to the Radiant Ancients, they see every access point other than the southeast.
Yeah, the haste rune on Lina as well with the shield rune. Just full rune control from all these dominant early game fights.
Clear out your opponent's stacks. Take away all the pieces of the pie. So Heroic can only really play bottom lane, bottom jungle, while Liquid have access to 2 lanes in the entirety of the map otherwise.
Yeah, they're getting a whole lot of farm right now. 1 minute from now, the Wisdom Rune will spawn, so probably they want to still hang around the area up top.
The TPing bottom with the Viper.
Yeah, he could break the tides. It's possible he could die. They need Tusk to come closer.
The Ace of Spades getting snowballed on, broken by the Viper strike. Golem dropped on his head. Ravage. And it's going to stun them up. Looks nice, but there's no follow-up at all.
Best case scenario right there. You get the kill, he spends the Ravage. He probably thought that maybe there would be some TP coming in from his friends, but no. They were on the way, but not quite in time.
Liquid readying themselves to defend this tower, though. Tofu smoked with Boxy wrapping around. Nisha trying not to show on the wave, speeding forward and aiming for the backstab. Boxy can't quite get the grab onto Yuma. They spot him on his way in, so instead it'll be King Jungles dragging their attention. Follow me. Come and chase. Shard tried to block, but Nisha has a nice gap to play through and finds the Warlock in the end.
Yeah, sadly, this Warlock not quite enough to run away from the Sorceress chasing him.
And what started as a heroic push into bottom tier 1 turns out to be Liquid getting the objective.
Yeah, Golem not getting what it wants. Quick deny on that. At least Luna dipped out of the area and stayed safe. Getting her to Manta style is going to be very important for them. But yeah, the tempo coming in is also greatly favoring Liquid in many ways. They stole the Wisdom earlier, but all these objectives they're taking now, the tier 1 towers, the kills they've gotten, look at Boxy. He's already sitting at 1,650 gold.
Yeah.
It's so early in the game, and he's closing in on a Blink Dagger. Once Tiny gets Blink, you and I have been seeing some crazy stuff coming out from Team Spirit with it, tossing on to the SF repeatedly. Here, you have combos abound. He could play with Lina or with his SF, or he just supports
And it's the fact you can take 2 heroes out of the fight, right? Like, Tiny can go on 1 and do this toss back in the Requiem play you're talking about, and then Bane can look at another and say, okay, I'm going to Nightmare Grip the Batrider or the Viper and make sure that this counter-initiation doesn't happen. Maybe shut down the Tusk to stop a snowball save.
Ooh, he's
lots of answers, but Boxy is going to get run at. Snowballed, eclipsed, tossed back into Requiem, not going to pay off properly. Theodore still being clicked, but Mickey can't take the Tusk down.
Yeah, timing wasn't quite there a little bit early on the SF ulti. That's why we kept singing the praises, how it's not the easiest combo to pull off. The SF ulti with Kayasha is so fast, you gotta wait for that toss to fly a little bit.
Getting feared mid-air.
Yeah, actually stops him from moving as well, making it even worse.
Nisha's gonna come across, has a couple of levels in Light Strike Array now, as he had skipped out on them early on. But with this Nightmare into stun, perfect setup to take down the Batrider, who is still floundering down at the bottom of the net worth of the cause.
Yeah, Lina, meanwhile, at the top, and I like the build that Nisha is going for. Travels into Hurricane Pike immediately, prioritizing a safety tool against the catch that they have. Speaking of catch, Teolikor is going to be safe for now. He does have the ward, so...
Boxy.
Uh-oh.
Pos 4 recognizes Pos 4. Boxy knows something's not quite right over here. But the shards are going to block the approach while Mickey sprints in from the north. The river offers protection to the barroom brawler. And we can have a listen into Mickey and his call here.
They will show bottom Boxy at all? I don't know. They're like so fucking scared on the map. Just keep farming them.
Really funny timing to hear him. This was not a live listening. This was a little bit before. He's not saying that while he got ganked.
Yeah, they were not scared. You can't keep on farming on the map. Heroic are going to run at you.
That turned into a very comedic effect. Poor Mickey gets taken down, and this time they can start sieging up the tower with the SF dead, the Golem.
A big kill for Heroic.
Yeah, but you can tell the intentions from Liquid. They want to play a big map, set up with their supports on silence, use the travels, and keep picking off anyone who goes alone. Unfortunately, this time it was the SF going alone.
They tighten up again, though. Playing as 3 with the Bane Tiny tied in towards Lina. Now we're 17 minutes in, so we're in this period of the game where we're looking into Core Kill, to Roche, to Tormentor. That spiral effect.
Well, the pipe is a big, big item here.
Top Boxy. He's got the jump on Batrider, and there's one of the combos. Toss back into Light Strike Array. Dump the damage onto Whisper and keep the Batrider locked down.
Yeah, I think they want to start forcing a lot of 5-man engagements due to having both Golem on cooldown right now and Pipe ready. So they can go for Roche, they can go for tier 2 pressure even. It's gonna be Roche immediately.
And Mickey making sure he gathers up the farm mid so there's no simple push into tier 1. While Ace tanks up for Nisha. In the Roche pit, need a little bit of help from the SF. He'll arrive momentarily.
Yeah, Titus gonna be completely fine.
Just need that added bit of damage. So in the meantime, Heroic trying to absorb some of the space on the map that's uninhabited. Viper is on that far right edge, gathering up some farm. Luna's in the bottom jungle. While Liquid go for a bit of a slow Roche here. Eventually going to be able to bring him down, thanks to that core kill on the Batrider to start it off.
Yeah, it's not the fastest Roche, but they can take it, and there's not much Heroic could do about it. No. Golem is going to come off cooldown 40, but now with Aegis over on the Lina, it gets harder and harder to set up some good fights.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Shadow Fiend and Lina, and it seems like they're having differing ideas within themselves what items to buy. Nisha was looking at Lincoln Sphere. Mickey thinking about Blink Lincolns himself. We have this shift towards BKBs potentially, as Nisha does change his mind and heads towards that. Because this timing with BKB cores on Liquid, again, coming back to the fact that magic damage for Heroic is so vitally important, you completely negate it.
I think Lina going BKB is the important one. If she has Hurricane Pike and BKB, she can basically just go in and start laying in the right clicks onto either Bat or the Viper if he stands his ground. Viper does have Crimson Guard now, that will protect him a little bit. But if SF is there with Minus Armor Aura and Lina is auto-attacking away, you still drop pretty fast.
Yeah, then you look at a situation where Heroic kind of have to spend Lasso, Viper Strike, Eclipse to kill off one of the Liquid cores, and there's always going to be this backup one still remaining. Reminds me of a couple of years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, we were casting a bunch of those qualifiers where we had TB Sniper.
Yep.
Right, two kind of glass cannon, high damage dealing, long range heroes. It can be greedy, but it offers two targets, and only one of them will be gone on and die if you get yourselves out of laning stage, which of course Liquid have done.
Yeah, the double right-click core can be really effective sometimes, and that's what we're seeing happening in this game. Usually it does depend on getting a good start, getting good lanes, and you can't really ask for much better start to the game than Liquid had. So here it might get away pretty unpunished, as it is a little bit greedier. Short goes over to Tiny, not the most impactful for a support Tiny. It does give him a tiny bit more burst.
Faking out the twin gate. Is Tofu going to come through this time?
Yoloko is just watching.
Like, really, bro? You're gonna keep doing me like this? Toying with the Tusk.
It's a smoke up from Heroic, but they smoked under a ward, I think.
Ooh.
At least very close to it. I think they may have realized on Liquid.
Bane draws the circle, and Liquid
Yeah.
repurposing. Aegis on Lina here, gonna get lassoed back in, but has the Hurricane Pike after lasso ends. Snowball going deep. This is risky from Heroic. And I think Thealacor is just gonna pay the price. Boxy could still look with a jump in 2 seconds, with Blink coming off cooldown. Has the potential to toss back into Requiem, and this time it's good. Ravage clips onto 3. Viper stunned up by Nisha. Chain disables onto Tailung as Ace stands his ground and delivers. Buyback from Whisper wanting to extend this one, and Liquid disengaging while Ace is being focused. A little too far forward, the Tidehunter will get turned on.
Bane also drops before he could TP out. Big punish coming out from Heroic. They actually turned that into a great fight. Started out very promising with the combination plays, but in the end, they got caught by this golem drop onto them, bound. I mean, a lot of heroes just dropping very, very quickly because they stacked up. And I guess we haven't really pointed out, but the AoE damage they have on Heroic is really good. Once you all clump up, there's a lot of different things. Just spit on the ground,
The Fatal Bonds.
Firefly, Luna ulti, kind of AoE.
And it all starts out with Thealacor going very deep, but buyback from Whisper.
Yeah, this felt like it should be a fight that works out for them. They get the Batrider immediately, but the buyback turned this thing around.
As Luna ags.
Yeah, and Crimson Guard as well, because Lina was turned. Yeah, Lina had to run basically, could not finish the Viper, and they just stats and deliver.
And Ace is just left alone in the upheaval.
Yeah, give it up for Warlock, man. What a team fight winning hero.
Tidehunter soup.
I don't know who says that Warlock would be boring to play. This is a satisfying plus 5.
He's the best hero in the game.
You drop a golem. You watched him suffer a bit.
You put Fatal Bonds on 5 heroes and watch the demonic pentagram appear as damage is dished out onto all of your enemies. Yeah, it's great. Oh, a little breather here, as we'll have a bit of time to think about actions and consequences.
So that was a one fight with the Luna Aghanim Scepter. Now she's closing in on the BKB as well. Just 1,000 gold to go.
I really wonder if Mickey will reconsider this Lincoln Sphere, because it feels like he needs BKB into this magic damage of Heroic.
I would agree because he has Blink, right?
If you're going in...
Yeah, blinking forward, having BKB is nice. There is a whole lot against BKB is the thing, though. Right? You could say that there's technically 4 abilities that pierce BKB. You get the Viper Strike, the Lasso, the Punch, and the Golem as well. So I can see the argument, and he feels the biggest problem for him is if he gets Lassoed or Viper Struck, which I can agree with.
Makes sense.
But even so, I still think the BKB mitigates most of the damage he would take. And if they all want to blink in together, it's this all or nothing. They all blinked in the previous fights, but then they couldn't stand and just fight because of, you know, the goo on the ground, the upheaval, the nether toxin, bunch of stuff on the ground. They just had to bail. Yeah. If they have BKB, they can ignore those things.
I mean, do we live in a world where he just goes both Lincolns then BKB?
He could, but it will take a very long time before you get both. And I would rather see him, you know, probably just head towards like even Silver Edge in this game, BKB Silver Edge, because he is playing against the Viper. Even breaking Luna is not that bad. Or even Batrider for that matter. You slap him and he gets no movement speed. Silver Edge is a very good utility item overall now.
Luna quite ahead in terms of the farm metrics. More last hits, more net worth, more GPM, of course. In effect,
Bane
gotta give
spotted
it
up top. for just a split second. He will TP away though.
Still got to give props to this Whisper Batrider though, right? Shut down in lane, heavily focused. Having to buy back to win fights, but still having impact with incredibly low net worth and playing as if he's another support. The worry is, as the game gets longer, that impact is going to wither and die.
Yeah, he's doing what he can, but it's soon gonna be passing of the torch where he says, okay, Luna, you have to hard carry me. Like, I can only do so much. He didn't finish the Bongo Boots. He's going for an early Aeon Disc build with Blink Dagger. This is much more a sacrificed, like, initiation-based Batrider.
I'm a clockwork.
Yeah, he's gonna serve as a catching tool. Other than that, he won't be having that much damage to bring to the fight, nor staying power, for that matter.
Well, it's not been one fell swoop from Liquid after that laning stage. Fast Roshan and Tormentor, which it felt like as they built up a nice head of steam in the first 20 minutes. Heroic being able to bite back and play through this Yuma Luna have given themselves some room to play into. So now they can start thinking about top tier 1. Maybe a Roshan of their own. And a smoke here from those 3 heroes going to gather up and try and find a catch on somebody.
Yeah, looking to connect on an important target. Tide could die, but he does have people nearby. It could backfire extremely hard. Lina will, of course, be able to travel in quite quickly as well. Looks like they have a good read on Liquid. They're all backing away from it. Liquid as well, queuing up the double Silver Edge. So, like we talked about, against the Viper, gonna be insanely good to have the break. Both SF and Lina wants to get one.
And it acts as both an aggressive tool against Viper, but also a defensive tool, right? If you're not dusted or under sentry, you can maybe get away from Eclipse or reposition in a fight.
Yeah. And Nisha did go back for the double, by the way. BKB and Lincoln Sphere.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, this is very similar to the old carry Lina. Old carry Lina, or the most recent successful carry Lina, was basically the Gleipnir build where she went tons of survivability and would have like 4,500 HP, and you hardly built any damage item because you didn't need it. She has so much built-in damage on this hero. All you need is to stay alive. Look at this itemization. BKB, Hurricane Pike, Lincoln Sphere next. You could even argue that Shadow Blade and Silver Edge is a bit of survivability added. So
best way to do damage is to stay alive.
Yeah. As long as you have a good chassis, let's say, as Lina is, she just does the damage on her own.
Some ability draft talk right there. The hero body.
Yeah, it's a good base model to do damage with.
Absolutely is.
Lincoln's number 1 is complete. Lincoln's number 2 not quite done yet. 500 gold to go for Nisha, so they're trying to delay the next big fight until then.
5k lead being held, not being advanced. And Heroic coming into this top jungle, preparing for their next potential Roshan, who could be up in the next 10 seconds. Looking for a kill deep in the enemy jungle, but Nisha has already extricated himself from what could have been a really awkward position.
They've been doing really well with dodging the ganks on the side of Liquid. I don't know if they realized just how close it's been. Down bottom, now up top. But obviously they realize that they're gonna play the area. It was just so close both times.
Very tight, and that's given time there for Nisha to finish off, or very nearly finish off that Lincoln Sphere. Just needs, the 2 camps on the right-hand side should do the job. And then Boxy comes across with a D-ward so they can reclaim that northern jungle. And we see that there's a minute left until Roshan comes back up.
It's going to be a top Roche. That area is being held for now by Heroic, but I think Liquid are trying to make claim to the lands. Throwing down the banana observer by Boxy. Didn't know he had bananas.
What is that, Radiant Roche on the dire side of the map?
Yeah, I mean, Radiant, Radiant
Is there
Roche.
outpost nearby?
Exactly.
We'll see if Heroic can actually claim it. So I think Liquid have an idea that's part of their core territory.
Yeah, Aeon Disc on the Batrider is complete, of course. He does have the chance to jump in first. Problem is the save could be there. What if Tiny reacts to the goal by Batrider and tosses the Batrider towards a teammate, dragging the lasso target along with it? That would be a play right there.
Just break the lasso.
It's not even a break. It would pull him. It would keep the lasso going. He could break it, but why not just use the Batrider to transport your teammate to safety?
Yeah. Liquid gathering up. Invis rune for Whisper. And the smoke from Liquid. They found the Warlock. KJ on this high ground, trying to slip away with his Glimmer Cape, but he's been tossed back onto Mickey. And Roshan has respawned.
Yeah, he got a little bit too close. He does have buyback, and of course, top Roche still close to the outposts. But does seem like Liquid are starting to have all the tools they need to go for a big fight. 400 gold for an Aghanim Scepter to complete, 200 gold now for a Tidehunter. He's trying to work on that. We see him scribbling on the map saying, guys, I want to farm these 2 camps, then I'm joining.
So close.
There might be a fight happening before them, though.
Heroic. They want to make something of this. Whisper and Yuma, Eclipse and Lasso finds the Bane. The Tiny jumped in as well, so both Liquid supports fall to a beyond godlike Yuma, and Heroic, it's their Roshan.
Makes you wonder, did they need to finish the Aghanims on Tide? You know, had he been there with the pipe, things could have looked so different. Obviously, he wants to play to a power spike, but now Heroic.
And there's no buybacks on Liquid either. So they're moving forward in a 3v5. Gush into the pit, Roche about half HP. Liquid thinking about how to approach this, because they do have some very strong core heroes, but it's risky business without your supports, without your Tiny in particular.
Yeah, they're not auto-attacking fast enough into Roche, though. Finally going in and starting it.
A dire scan the top jungle, so they know someone's coming from that direction. Ace is going to keep trying to poke at them with a Gush spam. Roshan down, he got the last hit on it, but now broken by the Viper Strike. Heroic won't chase it, respecting Liquid. But Aegis for Yuma, snatching it up.
Yuma is 10-0-4. He's still absolutely owning in this game.
Double smoke. Both teams about to clash. Yuma leads out. Ace the Eclipse over towards them. Boxy tosses Yuma into the Ravage, so Luna down the first time now. Mika and Nisha, the Hurricane Pike out of the Igloo, gets distance for Liquid, but the lasso on Tiny drags Boxy back into Viper and Luna. A toss back, a little awkward, but looks like Yuma's all right.
Trying to toss him forward, not enough though to put him out of position. Heroic standing strong.
And immediately losing the Aegis as well, so any inkling they had there of playing aggressively across the map suddenly shut down.
It stays a volatile game, open for anyone.
At this point, 5k lead means very little.
Yeah, the gold lead is nice for Liquid, but Heroic definitely have everything they need to force fights as well. Batrider may be weak, but Luna is insanely ahead.
Theolacor with a shard, very adept at clearing waves now. Whisper. Nisha.
Get spotted.
Gonna get jumped on. Pops the BKB.
Yeah.
Lincoln's popped. Eclipse comes in. They've stunned her up. And Nisha's Lena dead. Not even a shield rune could protect her.
She wanted to play for the Tormentor area. He was the first one to TP top and try and set up, but did not have his entire team with him. So they lose the Roche, and now similarly gonna lose the Tormentor as well. Heroic are clawing their way back.
That feels like a dead even game. I mean, from the laning stage, it felt like the snowball was building and Liquid's pressure was going to be too much. The Heroic have found their way in.
Yeah, the free shard is going to be really nice for Batrider as well. Get something for himself.
He's still not that far behind the Tide.
Defending this without Nisha?
They're going for it with a toss back on Viper into the Requiem. Half HP Tai Long getting burst down. Tanky fella, snowball save. Breaks free of the grip as they move back in. Catching out Mickey, but he's got a bit of distance as the Tidehunter bound and broken. Fatal Bombs dishing AoE damage back into Liquid, and Yuma just opens up, shredding through Ace. A few more touches will do the job. Bane down, and Mickey, he's been scouted. He needs a bit of healing and saving, but Whisper with a stacks of napalm on him, take down the Shadow Fiend.
I mean, they're chasing for more even. I don't think Whisper can quite catch the Tiny defending without 20,000 gold net worth Lina.
And for what feels like the first time this game, Heroic have the lead. 21-21 in kills. But the items just keep racking up, and Yuma on this Luna is just monstrous.
Yeah, getting so many good fights, and a lot of it on the back of Whisper going first and initiating. Recognizing that, okay, I can head in. This time, sure, they tossed in the Viper, who proved to be really tanky. Save from the Tusk.
And the Crimson Guard on the Viper, the Eon Disc on the Whisper Batrider, keeping him alive. And these Fatal Bonds, And Tide, of course, is going to get the blubber off, but the damage was already done.
Yeah, back in live, we have a high ground push. Tier 3 tower already dropped. Luna, when the Tier 3 tower is gone.
With upheaval attack speed?
Yeah.
Say goodbye to your base.
It's just the immediate. They saw the Tiny on mid, trying to catch him with Tusk.
Good avalanche from Boxy, but can't get the toss back. Nisha wanted to try and get something here. Laguna Blade and Clicks regen up with a Crimson on him. He's fine.
Wow, he thought he would get the kill.
No.
Nisha even turned around confused like, what? He didn't die, but it was Tai Lung with the Crimson Guard saving Teolikor.
Oh, incredible.
They've done a great job saving each other. There's been some like small details, passing healing lotuses, you know, the heal, the snowballs. A lot of things have just been signs of the teamwork that they're showing on Heroic.
Well, Nisha sending a message to his team that he thinks they need a gem, queuing about 10 of them in his quick buy, and Boxy's like, fine, fine, I'll buy a gem then.
I think he's not wrong. The Silver Edge on Luna. Silver Edge is just this crazy item. 17-second duration invis with 20-second cooldown. It's nearly like becoming Ricky on any carry that buys it.
When a Tide is buying BKB, you know it's bad.
Yeah.
Or good, whichever lens you look through.
The BKB is good, but yeah, the game state is pretty rough for him right now. He definitely wanted to be able to go for like Shivas or something to be able to frontline. But in this game, it's going to be hard for him to just stand his ground. Even the Tusk is closing in on a BKB. Teolikor, Blink, Face Boots, almost BKB on Tusk is going to be very useful for him, not getting feared up by SF. Makes it easier for him to save people with Snowball as well.
And the fact that this Luna can go for a pretty early Ags and then, of course, consume it later on, has what? Mask of Madness, Ags slots to replace, Treads can be changed into a Swift Blink. Still tons of scaling left for this Yuma hero.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely wants to get a refresher. Double BKB, double ulti is going to be massive. Maybe he wants to go Butterfly just to hit that power spike where, oh, you don't have True Strike on Lina and SF yet. I can have Butterfly and suddenly it's hard for you to fight me. Looks like he even going more aggressive with the Daedalus idea.
Wow.
Just wants to bring the damage.
Just raw damage output.
A few different ideas. Ultimately, he settles. No, doesn't settle. He started buying the Lincolns, changes his mind again. You can see how much these players try to adapt and crack, you know, what's the best thing I can do in the situation.
Because you're not buying the item for like right here, right now. It's like, what do I buy now for? The next 5 minutes until my next item comes.
It's going to be the Lincolns.
And that's the way that Liquid get back in the game. Kill him.
Yeah, I mean, against Bane, Lincolns is usually extremely good. Sure, he can break it by putting Enfeeble on you or something, but then you don't get Enfeeble. That's a pretty good thing as well. Enfeeble is insanely good against carries.
Liquid on the back foot somewhat. Need to try and make their presence known on the map. Trying to play through mid with the wave shove of Ace, and likely a smoke once they've cleared the wave. Now, the trouble is, top lane has been pushed all the way into the buildings with double catapults. So yeah. Shadow Fiend has to come back and show.
Ideally, that would be Lina defending as well, and SF could smoke with the team, because he's the insta-burst, and Lina has the travels, so it's much more comfortable if Lina is the one split pushing for them.
We can see Mickey now going back for the BKB. Now, having no save or friendly dispel on your team really can hurt a lot against Viper, Bat, Warlock. There's so many dispellable skills. You need some kind of Manta or BKB to deal with them.
Yeah, you definitely do. And with the smoke gang, the crew didn't connect initially, but Silver Edge Luna, she's going to be on our reward. He sees them all.
Yeah, Whisper tries to jump, and Mickey a step ahead. And Nisha with Tofu, looking for a lineup here. No info given by Heroic, though. They show for a moment, then back into the shadow.
Yeah, just an attempted gank. Didn't work out. That's fine. Go rinse and repeat.
Playing under the cover of darkness. Scary for Liquid out here on the map. Relying very heavily on wards like that. A little bit of intel lets them know the maneuver here from Heroic is coming in towards middle lane.
These double Silver just could bring down Viper surprisingly fast.
Whisper has jumped Yandex, BKB popped. Eclipse onto Tofu with the lasso back. They'll drag the Bane into his death. Now he's got buyback, but we're in a situation where there's still 2.5 minutes till Roshan even spawns.
Man, this Aeondisc is just, I don't know, breaking their idea. They go on the Batrider and he kills you. His team obviously behind him, ready to help him out.
Oh, I don't need to blink in on you. I don't need to see you.
Yeah, it was very grateful. That felt like tossing in a tide
yeah.
kind of moment, you know, like, we got him, guys. But sadly, Whisper is the initiator in this game. He's not really a big kill, even if you did get him, because he's not a damage-dealing Batrider. And I love this choice next, coming in Refresher. He says, you know what, I'm never going to be a right-click Bat in this game. I'm going to be full utility. I will have double ultis, and Aghanim Scepter afterwards is going to be absurd. Then he's going to actually have major impact.
And how does Heroic feel heading into late game? Because we had all this discussion about, early game magic damage, their tempo, their speed. Is there still this worry that Liquid have outscaling potential?
They have the better carry, right?
Carries.
Yeah, because they have double carry. So their right-click potential is amazing on side of Liquid, and they have good team fight with Ravage. So it's hard to gauge. I would still probably favor Heroic by the state of the game now. Just seeing that, okay, there's going to be a lot of control coming out from Batrider. Luna is enormous. Golem is still a good tool even in late game. And I think Tai Lung has managed to do more work on Viper than I expected him to.
He just sees the game differently. Tai Lung's built different. The fact that Yuma still hasn't been touched this game. 12-0-8, 500 last hits, top of the net worth, top of the pops Luna. Liquid start to approach the Roche pit. Heroic looking to keep all the waves shoved out.
Boxy wants to blink.
Oh, good from Theolicor. Make sure he doesn't get caught.
Yeah, very nice. Throw the shards, blink back, baiting the Tiny. But yeah, Liquid have not really had a fight where they are able to use these turrets that we talked so much about. The double right clicks from far, standing their ground and just delivering. That has not happened. And now with the Refresher on Batrider as well, there are a lot of different wrenches being thrown into the machinery.
Whisper looking for smoke break. Theolicor, same story. Making sure they can keep tabs on Liquid's positioning here as both teams a little blind heading into this third Roshan.
Aeondisc on Boxy is complete and assembled. Same with Shivas. Over on Tide.
A smoke from Heroic though. They've scanned the high ground and they know Liquid have prepped over by their own Ancients.
They're basically saying someone has to defend mid. It's going to be Tide. It's quite obvious. As the creeps start dewarding, I think that tipped off Liquid that, okay, they're definitely on mid. Creeps suddenly starting to kill ward that they already walked past.
Ace doesn't have to show to clear the wave. Stays tucked away in the trees and spams Gush. But that means Yuma pretty comfortable just to move forward and start shredding the building. Now some long-range poke from Liquid to clear the wave. The tower still stands at around 500 health.
Catapult wave up top, awkward for Liquid.
They've got to do something. And Heroic really poking here to elicit a reaction. Someone has to come back and defend. That's Mickey. So information advantage Heroic right now.
Yeah, there's still good wards though, spotting Tai Lung moving over to the triangle.
Right.
These wards from Liquid are really giving some nice information.
King Jungles. Okay, just steps forward. I thought maybe there'd be a jump, but Liquid not going to bite anything off just yet.
Alright, we need to keep our eyes peeled on Nisha in this fight. He has a Daedalus now.
I haven't blinked in the past 3 minutes, Waga.
It's very good, Kareth. Keep that up.
My eyes are very dry.
Holy.
Theolicor gonna get tossed back in. They get away from the Eclipse. Safety for Liquid as Tai Lung is forced to BKB. Run away. Theolicor down, but with buyback available, Liquid wanting to make more of this. Running forward towards the Luna. Nisha trying to open up. Force a fight here, but yours on the Tiny. Stops the toss back. Light Strike misses, so Tai Lung can turn alongside Whisper and Yuma to fight back. A reset from Liquid. Aeondisc popped though on Tiny. A little unfortunate for Boxy there.
No blink forward just yet. Holding high ground as Mickey is standing. Looking for an ulti with a Silver Edge.
And Tai Lung doesn't have BKB. 60 seconds without it. Terrain being used By Liquid just to hold the staircases, and Heroic can't really breach the ramp.
Very difficult to move forward for them. They still want to fight. You can see that on Whisper. Looking for blinking forward.
Readying himself for the jump, but the jump comes first onto him. He on this BKB again, offering protection though. Steal the core, goes and punches Nisha down. The second jump in from Whisper catches the Bane. Eclipse comes down, raining Hellfire onto Liquid as Yuma dropping low. Died to Mickey and Nisha. They didn't deal with the turrets. Liquid's carry stand tall. They lose 3, but they're now out of gas. Heroic have the chase, the control, but the damage from Liquid breaks the Batrider's back. Tai Lung cannot stand his ground.
There's a long death timer for the Batrider. Still moving forward, the 2 top farmed heroes.
Oh, the gem. Well, they can't go and claim it. They kill the courier and he drops the prize.
Yeah, they killed off everything else, but Luna started taking some serious damage. You could see the Lina. It was very awkward because Lina did by far the most in the fight, but they still lost the fight really hard initially. But is it a loss if Luna has to lick her wounds and start running away? And the carries just get to take a free Roche now.
That's the crazy thing, right? It's like Heroic get 2,000 gold from that. Liquid get like a grand. Overall, by the metrics and the kills, Heroic win this fight, but strategically, Liquid come out ahead.
Yeah, they lose the position. They had to retreat. And that is, look at that Lina. She's just standing there laying in the damage. Yuma is lucky they stayed alive. The Metal and runaway, that could have been a few more Daedalus crits and he would die quickly.
It's a close one. Yuma stays unkilled. Now got to start considering the next item for this Luna though. You know, do we go butterfly? Do we go more protection? Do we go damage?
You know what? He needs to respec to the other facet. Get the damage reduction going.
Yeah.
Because Tiga, you know, he's been talking about how this the Moonstorm facet is old news. The other facet is so good. I agree with him. I think the other facet is really, really good. Since he went for Aghanim Scepter on this game on Yuma, the Moonstorm has paid off. It's been really good. But he wishes he had the damage reduction right now so he could actually stand and fight against the Lina right-click.
I still can't believe how close this game has got. From that opening 10 minutes, Heroic coming back into this, making it dead even by the metrics, but we are in a game state where Liquid, they've got to jump on the Tusk. The toss-up and Requiem finishes Theo Liquor, Gem claimed up by them as well, and they've got Lina Aegis for 3.5 minutes, Cheese, Banner, and the Refresher Shard.
So many tools for them right now. I think it is a testament to Whisper's Batrider, the fact that this game was not over early. Oh, Tofu might just get eclipsed. He pump faked the eclipse a few times there on Bane.
Hey, just waving hello. Lifting the glaive, saluting Tofu.
Over here, Bane, over here.
Come a little closer, why don't you? Radiant scanning.
They didn't have True Strike over there, so Glimmer Cape on Bane, you can't really ulti him unless someone goes in and provides a dust. Always a very useful tool to have against the Luna Aghanims.
Oh, Heroic backs against the wall. Again in this game, trying to figure out what the next approach from Liquid is. Yuma going to slip into the shadows as Boxy and Ace look to reclaim some territory with a D-ward. And the lane pushing into bottom.
Yuma is trying to go behind. He really wants to fight.
See Whisper and Tai Lung. They're out by this tier 2 tower.
There's 2 gems on the field. You have to be so careful if you're Luna. 2 gems on Liquid, that is.
There's so many ways to get invis as well. So many ways to reposition yourselves. And now we're looking at Nisha with Satanic arriving.
Yeah, Aegis, Satanic, BKB and Backpack. He's going to have a lot of lives to go through.
9, 2, and 8. The big turret, the primary carry for Liquid, it feels like, is coming through this Nisha mid lane Lina.
Whisper, realizing the push is coming, wants to go for a grab.
Who does he see? A flame break, a Lincoln's pop. Whisper tries to make the jump, but the reactions from Liquid too quick for him to get the grab. They dealt with the banner though, so the push is going to be halted.
Yeah, the high ground defense is not that shot, you know, it's not too shabby on the side of Heroic. And Liquid, even with the Aegis, feeling a bit uncomfortable. Look at their base. They have so many creeps heading into a tier 4. Someone has to defend. It's always this constant pressure they gotta go back and deal with.
They got weeds in their garden. Someone's got to come back and prune it.
I mean, he almost needs to have travels on SF as well, but he's 6 slotted, so kind of difficult to fit more items. He's got a backpack refresher shard already.
16 health left on that tower.
I would like to see him get the shard for himself. Already has the Shadow Race applies damage talent and a Daedalus. Shard isn't bad, getting the cooldown reduction.
And when's next Tormentor? Just go and get one for free.
Yeah, Torm's still a while. Can't remember who the last one went to. Oh, it was Tofu. Tofu got it.
Looks like the Aegis is going to peter out. 30 seconds remaining. Liquid looking to make something happen in the enemy Ancients. For now, just a little incursion here to get some wards down.
King Jungles, this is the second time we see him do this, by the way. The Wind Waker on Warlock quite early. I mean, we're 50 minutes into this game, but let's just say Glimmer Cape into Wind Waker is not super usual to see on a lot of heroes. But in this game, against Bane, Fiend's Grip, against some of the initiation and the burst that we have seen, could be a good save for his teammate. There's also no nullifier yet.
That's true, because he had been using the Yules as a way to cancel Tiny's Blink Initiation, right? Similar to like against Ursa or Axe, he just Yules the guy who jumps. Boxy's tried to blink Avalanche Toss, he blinks, he avalanches, gets Cycloned. So now you can actually use your allies rather than the Tiny himself.
Yeah, I think now the job of Tofu becomes very difficult because either Snowball or Wind Waker could save people from getting Fiend's Crypt. So he has to worry about that. He has to worry about the Aeon Disc on Batrider.
Heroic. Whisper gets tagged up by a few spells and loses his BKB and Aeon Disc. He has Refresher, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, they're going to be the ones to smoke up. This could be hard to read for Liquid, that they're actually going to make a move immediately after he spent his stuff. Boxy is in a smoke-breaking position, though.
Okay, so the jump on the Shadow Fiend. Eclipse comes in. Boxy's trying to save him. They've lassoed and got the SF locked up in place. Heroic slay the beast. Nisha on the run now as Liquid from this high ground, realizing they can't really fight this, can they? Nisha from the tree line, trying to hide in the fog and turn for the damage. Ravage from Ace, clips onto the Batrider in the back. They turn on it, surprising Heroic just like they done to them. Whispers on the run, toss forward, Nisha sent in. Dunks on the bat, a triple kill for him, make it ultra. Nisha pops off.
Mika just sitting back, tipping Nisha. He's like, okay, that's fine. You can carry. I guess I died, but yeah, great read by Nisha. Hides behind the one tree there, like a cartoon villain.
Like, surely you're not going to fight this against Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, buybacking into this, difficult when you don't have Batrider. He's dead for 1 minute.
No buyback. Viper can. But we'll see if he pops it. You're losing a mid lane for sure.
Yeah, Mika just chilling as well. He could buy back into this, but no stress to do so as well. Just let the Lina push.
Eclipse. It's thrown out there to try and deter their advance. Clear out a wave, do some damage, but it just tickles Liquid as the pipe is popped.
So against Nisha, you just ban Puck, and that's it. Then it's easy. I think he had a word about that.
Yeah, apparently not so simple. That's what Cass was saying. Yeah, ban his Puck, and then what was he doing? Playing Lina for the first time?
Yeah.
First showing this tournament? Well,
dusting off his Lina, yeah, I don't know.
Glorious.
He doesn't seem too rusty on it.
18 seconds, no bat. Boxy jumps in, finds the grab onto Theolacore, forces the snowball, but Ace and Nisha unload the damage, force the BKB as Yuma jumps in aggressively. Looking for the go on Boxy, but Nisha's damage is substantial. Just unleashes it. Yuma has to retreat with a defensive BKB and Shadow Blade. As Liquid, they regroup.
Yeah, SF has respawned and made his way over as well. He's like, I'm back, guys. Did I miss anything? Hey, we see, of course, the initial jump catching SF was good.
It's so good from Heroic.
Yeah, I mean, that looked like a fantastic fight. They even get onto the Tiny, chasing onto the high ground. They looked like they were in complete disarray, but no. Nisha makes this insane call to take this fight right here.
It's like, surely not Liquid, surely not.
Yeah, underestimating the DPS from him. And Ace lands a very nice Ravage as well. Even if King Jungles jukes it, what are you going to do? You're a Warlock without ulti, dodging Ravage. Yeah, but then what? You can't cast anything.
I've never been so happy to eat my words. Liquid popping off big time. Yeah, Mickey's pogging. Absolute cinema.
Cinema.
Glorious stuff. Are now Heroic down a couple of lanes themselves, leveling the playing field, Liquid, making sure that top lane isn't going to be assaulted over and over again like it has been the past 20 minutes.
I mean, the story as well of Yuma, he is still unkilled in this game. Despite everything, despite all the crazy fights we've seen, 53 minutes into the game, he is still putting on the carry performance of a lifetime here, trying to win this game against Liquid, but they are just so damn strong.
I mean, it's so hard now with his Tide 25, having the extra Ravage stun duration, having Refresher.
I think he needs the Rapier. He's queued it up already. I don't know if the Swift Blink is even going to happen. We'll see what adaptation he does, but he has 6.5k gold. Could buy out a Rapier already.
He buys the Shard.
Yeah. I mean, Shard is decent. Does do a lot of damage.
Toss back. Who's this? Theolacor. Sent in towards Ace and Tofu. Forced to BKB early on. Nisha under the cover of Invis, looking for this wraparound still. As Yuma, they make the jump. Lincoln's pop, catch on the Lina, blowing Nisha up. Ace, well, he's tried to hold on here, but broken. Nightmare saved. Mickey Requiem's back. Heroic holding the line and falling back away from Liquid because Nisha bought back. The break on the Viper. Difficult for Toylong to disengage now with no Hurricane Pike, but he has safety from his friends. The Blink, toss back not good, but the Ravage is good! Ace is in, finds the opening. Toylong KJ dead.
Oh, the
Viper buys back the grip on Luna! Mickey! The Requiem unlocked by Tofu, the first kill on the Luna this game, and Mega Creeps coming for Liquid.
There's still no buyback on Lina. They could maybe try it. Round 2. Batrider does have ulti. Luna has buyback ready.
They've got one shot, one chance. A buyback on Luna. Liquid, they're on your tier 4s and breaking your base. Nisha has multiple Lincolns put on him. The lasso the SF, Nightmare save. Yuma's in to defeat Mickey. They've taken down the Shadow Fiend, but a snap buyback. Tidehunter broken and killed, a double kill for Yuma. Eclipse thrown in, but Tylung's in trouble. Mickey buys back and gets the kill. Yuma now with no ways to slip out of here, hides in the trees. Silver Edge on cooldown, Tofu with a glimmer, but Yuma is gonna go on a little wander.
He's gonna run away. He wants to fight, but he can't. He's so outnumbered. Batrider is his only friend in the world right now.
Go and find a cottage in the tree.
Whisper. He's pulling out all the stops. The Blade Mail Batrider.
Trying against Nisha, but your throne is dying. Avalanche there, the Batrider tossed around, comes to the floor with a thud. Yuma, one more chance, 1 versus 4, but Liquid, they've got the damage, knocking at your door to kill the throne and take game 1. Incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have something to look forward to. All right, game 2. Let's see if we're going to get naked, my friends, as we head into the game.
Collapsing Laurel in bed, naked Blitz, another classic Slacks interview to add to the archive. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, as we head into game 2, best of 3, lower bracket. Heroic taking on Liquid here, Waga.
Games are getting more and more crazy, and the interviews are getting more and more unhinged as we proceed later into tournaments here. Slacks is ramping it up as well as the players.
Devolving into degeneracy, as there is no Lotus Orb queued up for Ace yet.
Oh, that's dangerous. That quick buy. Blitz is sweating bullets looking at Ace right now.
Please, he knows what it does, right?
We'll check in with him later. Yeah, I mean, it's a half-decent Lotus Orb game, I would say. We play against Batrider, Beast, and Bane. Also dispelling off any of the Jakiro DPS.
Triple B threat. Well, there it is. So mid lane, Nisha against Tylong. Blitz saying that, you know, Tylong, a lot of experience from pubs, but Nisha's going to teach him everything he can't learn from pubs. All the pro player tricks, as Nisha has this Storm Spirit.
Yeah, this is a comfortable matchup as well for Storm. You can easily push the lane, even though there's really good last hit potential for Beastmaster. You spell farm so hard on Storm Spirit. It's already dealing a lot of damage to him as well, as Beastmaster has to go close.
Yeah, just out spamming, trying to chip away at the boars to kill them off. As we saw early days there, King Jungle's made a move into that mid lane to place an Observer ward. I was pretty sure he got spotted. There was a flurry of pings, but so far that Dire Observer has stayed up.
Yeah, I think maybe he will pick up a sentry at some point. Yeah, I also think that they saw it. They did check earlier.
And down at bottom, Mickey on the Weaver. A good hero, according to Blitz. Watching Yatoro win with it. And it has definitely shifted up in priority, especially into lanes and heroes like Bat and Beastmaster.
Yeah, I think it's mostly adaptation, seeing Batrider first phase pick almost every single series. This hero does tend to slip through the bans. Oh, Ursa very aggressive. Might be in trouble against Ace.
Yeah, plays forward onto this Bristleback, who stacks up the Quill Sprays. Acorn shot thrown out. He's got a Fairy Fire on Ursa, so Ace can't go for the finishing blow, but now the Bear has basically been butted out of lane.
Yeah, difficult for him to stand. I've talked about this matchup many times before, how it's very volatile. I thought they would go for the Warlock. I believe he was unbanned throughout the entire pick phase.
Taylor Core dying to Mickey. And one of these core carry heroes that is very good at making that support duel a little unbalanced. Boxy getting run at by Yuma. A few Fury swipes here, but living armor's there.
Yeah, he's gonna be completely fine. Yeah, Weaver, of course, hyper aggressive. Both side lanes showing aggression already. But yeah, I thought we would see the Warlock come out for more sustainability. You know, protecting Yuma has been the play. They've played the Warlock Ursa so many times before in the tournament. But in the end, it's going to be a little bit of a trickier lane. He hops in for a courier snipe.
And there's a lot of laning items there. Tangos and Blood Grenade would be very useful for Boxy to stay it out. As KJ goes for the Nightmare Sleepwalk to try and steal the Lotus, but the Hoodwink comes in to grab it anyway.
Yeah, pretty costly to throw out the Nightmare to try. I mean, obviously it's nice if you get the Healing Lotus, but that's mana gone.
Mickey, 6 stacks of Napalm on him, spends the wand, holds the Fairy Fire. He's going to take some more damage over time from the dual breath, but he's under tower and safe, while Tofu gives the clicks onto Whisper.
He wants to try and turn it around, but too much HP on the Batrider. Weaver's going to have to chill for now.
Yeah, all thanks to that living armor.
At least Tofu is pulling the creeps for him, pulling them onto the range creep, trying to make the wave push under tower eventually. And also healing some auto attacks.
We'll take a lot of damage here, though. This is stacking up on Tofu to get Theolacor a kill.
Yeah, a lot of Magic Stick charges going the way of Mickey, though, at least, so he is going to get his HP back using that. And it's better if Treant Protector dies than your Weaver going down.
That's for sure. Mid lane, pretty much dead even. Beastmaster has 3 additional denies, and he's going to add another one there with the Water Rune also.
Cliff dive up top, chasing after Yuma, just doing a lot of damage to him. Don't have boots yet on Bristle, though, so he's getting outrun.
Turning his attention to King Jungles. Boxy. Acorn shot Bushwhack, but doesn't really connect on the Bane.
And Tofu making this classic move that we keep talking about, how you die on the support and then just look towards going to the other lane, trying to set up on Yuma.
Ace has a couple of mangoes here to pop back that mana pool. Would like to get the Quill Spray started now so they can have that lead in to the attempt on Yuma.
Yeah, full HP is hard to go through. They still haven't seen Treant Protector anyway, so I think they realize they might be ganking.
They know something's amiss. And also the fact that Storm is off the map. Jakiro is going to track back into that bottom jungle to see Nisha farming through the little frogs.
It's our experience, my friend. Yes, keep farming. Jakiro will go in, join in the farm.
And get some damage on the Storm. Nisha wants to stick around here and finish the camp with the living armor on him, but Theolacor offering enough damage to shove Nisha back.
It's a
Courier snipe as well.
Gonna delay the gloves, and he's gonna steal up all these 4 creeps. A lot of Croakers going his way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, this little move may seem insignificant, but it's really nice to shut down the Storm's level 6 timing. He would have been level 6, I think, just barely, or maybe not. But that power spike is so important.
Especially giving a lot of impetus to your Beastmaster now. Oh, Mickey down at bottom lane pops that wand, but the damage from Whisper enough to sustain the chase as he heals himself back up and goes on to Boxy over the trees. Raindrops and the lotuses, all the little tickles of heals there from Whisper keep him alive.
Mid tower's being sieged up as well as Storm can't really defend it. This is a very early tower falling.
Yeah, playing through Tai Lung, level 6 Beastmaster. I always sing the praises of this Tai Lung beast. And knowing how important that Aghanim Scepter timing is as well, any additional influx of gold, vitally important for him.
Yeah, and this is well in time for Torment, or for Wisdom plays as well. 40 seconds for the rune. for the Wisdom Rune coming in. Beastmaster gonna take the DD Rune before then.
So does Liquid bring 5 up top to defend?
I don't think they can. Storm TP'd mid, so he would have to start walking over. I guess he is joining in.
They're migrating to the left. The window's shifting here. The courier flies over, gets sniped out by KJ. 10 seconds for Shrine to pop up and emerge. As on the right-hand side, Whisper looks like he's got free time to stack camps and take his, while Ace is being looked at by 4 heroic heroes. A Fury Swipe start. Tylung with his DD Rune wants a roar on the Storm. Nisha caught up, the damage is done. Ace now falling flat as Tylung comes in and swoops onto Liquid to get 3 kills in a row. Tofu the third. Weaver's arrived though, wanting a turn. Hello, Mickey, and then goodbye. Yuma with a double kill.
He's level 5. He's got
a team wipe incoming. Boxy falls, a double-double for Heroic.
You gotta respect the Yuma buff, alright? Wisdom Rune is his spot to fight. He stands tall with his Ursa. Every game we see him, always on that 7-minute rune. Whisper's gonna get jumped by the Storm bottom. A little bit too low HP, so he gets punished at least, but a full wipe. I did not think they wanted to contest that anymore. But they commit for the Tormentor fight, and ultimately, even though Bristleback was strong, he does fall eventually.
Yeah, I mean, everyone on Heroic basically getting a free level. Tons of gold going into their pockets.
And just a good catch onto the Storm. If they didn't get the Storm immediately there, that fight could have been possible for Liquid, but he got roared up, and from there, it was just easy kill.
It could easily have been a roar on Ace here, right? But
yeah.
Tylung waits, biding his time for the roar on Nisha, and he tried to bull lightning out of it, but far too quick from Heroic.
You see how Heroic are so on the same page, though. The roar came, and literally all of them just laid DPS immediately into him. Man, it was so close. And poor Mickey runs in, gets 1 kill, sure, but then dies in 3 hits from Ursa. And this has just snowballed the, the Heroic early game even more.
Nightmare onto the Ace Bristleback now with Tylung TPing top. Another roar. Yuma's damage stacking up. The Quill sprays.
A lot of
irritating, but it looks like they've got the damage to kill him, although Ace brings down Tylung first.
Yeah, you're so happy about that if you're Ace. People going top, you get roared, space for your team, and you still get the kill on the Beastmaster. So Ace, he's gonna be completely fine with this, and I think Blitz is sighing of relief because looking at the quick buy over on this boy, it does seem to be buying a certain item.
That's good. Lotus Orb, very handy in this game. And Tofu, just taken down to half health by the Jakiro, as Theolacour says. This is my home. I inhabit the middle lane. It's my golden experience, not yours.
Yeah, strong presence on the lane. Liquid are trying to take control of the top part of the map again.
Even with that, not a massive difference in net worth. The Radiant cores all still doing pretty well for themselves. It's just the Radiant supports, right? Having that lack of experience, lack of gold, really going to start struggling as a Treant and Hoodwink.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And we already have the mana boots coming out over on Jakiro, so he can keep that tempo up. Always nice when you have Bane in your team as well to give him some mana.
Ice Path. Ooh. Preemptively placed. There's no grip yet, though. And Nisha going to zip over onto Theolacour. Tylung has
Still
roar.
alive.
Doesn't come to fight, and you're right.
He saved
the
him.
shield wall.
Yeah, he saved him with the Ash Legion shield. Man, that's so good. He thought he had the last hit, so he started turning around there, and by the time he realized that he didn't get it, again, sort of reminiscent to a Crimson Guard save on the previous game, yeah, by Viper.
Exactly. They will safeguard the stack for themselves, though. Give Nisha a little bit of boost to his bank account, while Whisper does a similar job on his own to that far right-hand side. A way more straightforward Batrider game for Whisper this time around.
Yeah, definitely. He got the laning stage that he wanted. He's doing completely fine. I mean, he even found the 1 solo kill onto Weaver as Batrider, and that's just a testament to his skill. I mean, Mickey Weaver, he definitely knows his limits really well, and yet Whisper found him. That's just so difficult to do.
Weaver does get this free lane bottom for now, though. Able to push wave, dip into jungle, get an additional bit of efficiency going.
Yeah, he needs every bit he can get because it will be hard to keep pace with the Ursa once the Battle Fury comes in. Yuma has shown time and time again, if he gets a good start on Ursa, he will snowball that into more and more. And we're sitting at 3-0 and 3 for Ursa so far. Fantastic start.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What do you reckon the timing on their Roshan is this game? Is it minute 12? Are we going to hit the bingo?
I feel like it's going to be a 14-20. That's the timing. We're not going to go faster and faster. It's Liquid after all, right? Liquid is a damn strong team. Not that easy to dominate, but yeah, Heroic, they have been, throughout the tournament, taking Roche faster and faster, it feels like. The 17, 16, 15, 14.
Speeding up, ramping up. Nisha going to poke at Tylung in his middle lane, looking for a reaction out of Heroic. It comes in slowly and surely. Roar lined up, Overgrowth binds him. He doesn't chuck the ulti as Beastmaster and just dies. As Whisper, he's come in as well, looking to turn the tide of this fight for the living armor and the healing. Nisha stays alive, the ball lightning not enough to keep him invulnerable through the damage over time.
Yeah, a little bit of hesitation on throwing the ulti there, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Liquid already diving with so many heroes, and for now, Heroic do not want to take a massive fight. Ursa just wants to get his Battle Fury, does not want to join for this mid-fight. And they were pretty low resources, I think, on Jakiro as well at the start of the fight.
Yeah, the aim of the game is scaling for Yuma. As long as they can defend these side lane tier 1s, keep the map as wide as possible for Heroic, they're pretty happy to defend their jungles.
Yeah, both teams are just stacking up Ancients, trying to get as much farm as possible out of this.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, there we go. We can see a double stacking. Very nice. Efficiency going on all over the place.
And the difference being Beast and Bat already here to clear the stacks.
Yeah.
Liquid not quite in position to immediately snap and bring them down. So there is that threat that Heroic, if they move quickly enough, could come and contest them.
Yeah, we might see Brazil go over and clear it, but you're absolutely right. If there's ever a team fight top before the stacks are cleared, that would be very disastrous for Liquid. So we see Ace making his way over. This is enough gold to finish up his Lotus Orb as well, once he kills all this.
And then Beastmaster, we're 14 minutes in now. He must be closing in on the Aghanim Scepter. Important timing for him to hit. Kind of similar to the Ursa Battle Fury in that it can allow you to fight and get involved, but for the most part, it is that farming for the next few minutes to get into your blink, BKB on Beastmaster.
Yeah. We do have a smoke coming in with the Batrider, though. They have Fiend Script and Lasso available.
That's 14 minutes in, Waga.
Actually, does he have Lasso available? I thought he was holding a skill point, but then I forgot. He has 5 points in the Sticky Napalm, so no Lasso.
Lasso, no. Hasn't even skilled it. Well, surely it's Roshan time.
14-20 was my prediction. And,
Bang on!
It's exactly when they went. They must have heard me over there in the player area.
Nostradamus. You've written a book about it.
They were just waiting for me, so my prediction gets right.
So Bane is frontlining here, smoked and trying to give vision. Break any kind of initiation from Liquid, but the thing is, Roshan's already died. Storm zips in, finds the opening on Bane. Ice Path to disengage. Heroic happy to give up a pos 5 here as long as they came in, got the Aegis, and fully evacuate.
Yeah, they're gonna dip out of the area. They have their farming tools ready right now. Obviously, the Battle Fury and the Aghanims on Beastmaster, we talk a lot about how it ramps up the farm. I would even make a case that the Boots of Bearing on Batrider is essentially a farm accelerating item as well.
With the attack speed.
Like, it's more than that. It's the HP regen. It allows you play in a different way when you're farming, because before you have Boots of Bearing, you basically drop low HP by farming jungle. You keep getting auto-attacked. And now he doesn't really bother with that. His HP regen doesn't break, so he can keep farming and stay on the map. So it's not crazy like a Battle Fury, but it does still accelerate him.
Still dead even in the net worth, though. And Liquid have done a good job keeping up in that farm rate.
Yeah, with the early Lotus Orb ready before any big team fight, it's going to be a little bit tricky for Heroic how to take the fights into it.
Yeah, you see that, Slacks? Lotus Orb on Bristleback. He knows what it does.
Dire's bottom tower
Maybe he has no clue. He just buys it and clicks it. Hope for the best.
It's a passive, right?
Gives
me regen and armor.
Linken's next. That's basically 2 Lotus Orbs.
I go for all the defensive tools. Liquid wanting to crack open this top left corner. They've seen that fast Roshan, and they know that spiral can happen where Heroic go from objective to objective. So already looking to unlock the Tormentor in that top left corner. Theolacor thought someone was lurking.
Tofu with a good positioning to smoke break.
Doesn't get scouted.
Yeah. They pop the dust, but he runs away to safety. Gonna be completely fine. For now, farm is the name of the game.
Yeah, a bit of push and pull. Liquid show up top, Heroic turn up to try and force them away from the area, but quickly going through the twin gate as Weaver to farm bottom.
Okay, at this stage of the game, it may seem like it's literally just farming, but yeah, the observer is pointing out there's triple Lincolns going on right now. They're building towards a massive power spike on Liquid right now. They're gonna, you know, rename themselves to Team Lincolns. They're gonna go together, and once they do, it's gonna be very hard for Heroic to teamfight into triple. It's this item that one of them, yeah, you can kind of track it and keep count, like, oh, how long cooldown is it? We triggered it.
3.
When there's 3, they're gonna be passing them on to each other. You're not gonna be able to keep track of which one it is. You hear the noise of Lincolns. It's like, which one did we break again? It's so much more difficult.
3 Lincolns, Jeremy? That's insane. Well, Mika is getting very close to it. Heroic are running down to this bottom lane, and they would love to get some utilization out of this Aegis as well, but King Jungles has stepped very far forward. Met with stiff resistance already. Nightmare saves himself up as a roar from Tai Lung catches Nisha, but overgrowth from Tofu. They can't get onto the Storm Spirit. The turn from Liquid's too strong. Heroic, they're going to try and bang the drum of Tai Lung, stand his ground, deliver on Bristleback. Essence Ring heals him up as Yuma goes deep onto Boxy, but Liquid disengage. Ace left alone and slain. Heroic do get a core kill, but it looked risky.
Yeah, Tofu might still get caught here as well, trying to get safety. Yuma cutting behind, should be able to find the Treant Protector.
A dominating Ursa. Another swift move from Heroic. It looked like a really good hold from Liquid, but they didn't quite have enough.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately you're fighting into the aegis of the Beastmaster, so even though the fight started out pretty well,
right,
they can't commit for the Beastmaster kill because he would just come back and turn the fight around. So they have to cancel out, dip out, and retreat. Very nice save by Tofu, though. That last second overgrowth, Batrider was millimeters away from lassoing the Storm, and he would have died.
Super close. And with the remaining moments of that Aegis, they get a fight, they get a tier 1. And now Heroic with his gem.
The gem? But he might lose
to
it.
try and control the map, but he's walked into Nisha and Boxy. Ursa dealing with them though. Protecting King Jungles as Nisha gets the kill and the courier grabs the gem.
Protecting gem, bringing it back home. Nisha really wanted him.
Bushwhack from Boxy is going to keep the Jakiro at bay, but look at Tai Lung, another roar straight into the Hoodwink now. Plenty of damage to dish in. Kill off the Hoodwink as Nisha utilizing his entire mana pool there to poke at Heroic and make sure they stop their advance.
Still fighting in the area, trying to hold strong. Weaver is split pushing, not joining for this fight. Lincoln is coming out for him. That's
Really?
one Lincoln's done.
On a knife's edge though, isn't it? Liquid are playing to their strengths, but it's a tightrope act to quell Heroic's aggression while holding onto areas of the map yourself.
But they prepared really well. They set up the ice in the forest, taking over Tormentor area. Heroic, they are strong right now, but not going to be able to shove Liquid away, and that does mean Tormentor looks like it's going Liquid's way. Minus armor from the Swarm, along with Bristleback, is going to take it down really, really fast.
So Bristle has pre-bought his shard. Are they trying to give this shard to someone in particular?
Oh.
Because Weaver wants to buy one as well.
Yeah.
It's going to go to Nisha.
Oh, I see. Already shard over on the Storm. That's really nice.
Because what, Treant has bought his? So it was like Hoodwink or Storm, right?
It's not so much to pass it. It's more that it's just an insanely good shard. The Bristleback shard is one of the best ones in the game as well. It's really good for fighting.
True.
It gives you farm rate as well. It's not even expensive. And against this lineup, it can be used to try and blink cancel.
Whisper. Lincoln's pop on the Weaver. Ace with a Lotus Orb on him. And he's being eyed up here by a ton of spells out of Heroic. Out in no man's land as he paired up with Mickey to try and do something.
Yeah, still hanging around in the area. Liquid wanna fight.
They're pinging Tai Lung.
They think better of it, I think. There's so many spells available still. They didn't use any big ulti. Just Macropyre dropped.
They have this element of surprise though. Still shifting down to this bottom stream where they see Tai Lung and Heroic. They've gone through the twin gate up to top.
Oh, they catch the beast.
So Tofu
Good timing.
has the info. They know the beast is left alone. Tai Lung getting juked around. Still going to land the roar on Mickey. And the lasso there to make sure no time-lapse comes in. Storm zips, TP's home. No more connections from Heroic, but a good kill on the Weaver nonetheless.
That was an optimistic attempt, but didn't quite get him. The burst wasn't really there.
And now striding forward. 3K lead for Heroic. Beastmaster and Ursa leading out in the net worth department right up at the top. Feeling comfortable to pivot from bottom lane into mid, playing 2 lanes.
I mean, Tai Lung spoke of him as the guy with a lot of pub experience, right? Young and talented player here in a pro game, but he is delivering up against Nisha. He's leading the way, 13,500 gold on this Beastmaster, doing a fantastic job so far.
It has felt like the Liquid supports have found room to kind of catch up. You know, no longer languishing down at the complete bottom of the net worth. Treant able to hide in the trees, push out waves like this, gathers Tofu, much needed gold and experience, but also opens the map and opens the eyes of his team so they can find a Bane or a Jakiro potentially.
Yeah, I think they have to do this. Again, we have this similar situation where one team is just stronger at 5 manning. They have better team fight over on Heroic right now. Sure, they have overgrowth on Liquid, but other than that, their team fight is not the strongest, so it needs to be towards the triple Lincoln's timing, and that's still a while away. Storm, Bristleback, they both need to finish theirs.
Storm?
Ooh. A lot of mana used.
A little spooky.
Can't stand still for too long.
Got the haste rune.
And right now, how do you kill Batrider? Crimson Guard, Plate Mail, Boots of Bearing. He may not be the bottom farm carry, or core, but it's so thick.
Yeah, casual plate mail as well. I'll start poking at Whisper. Bushwhack dealt with, cut down the tree. Whisper killing off the swarm as Heroic, they hold that aggressive line up in this top lane. Liquid still poking at Whisper, but you're right, the tanky Batrider holding 21 charges. Overgrowth comes in, Tofu, the Yules on the Ursa keeps the tree alive, but they got a lasso, the kill on Nisha, Tai Lung jumps in, Ace and Mickey looking to turn back on the Beastmaster with some good damage but no finish. The Essence Ring and the Nightmare keeps him alive, while Whisper and Theolacore, Yuma jumps in, finds Mickey's Weaver and blows him up. Foxy falls, and another 5-man wipe incoming for Heroic.
He's hungry for more, chasing with the face boots, Basher is on him. Ace should not have any chance to get away. He backs up to reset the Blink Dagger.
But there's the move from Yuma and Whisper. Plenty of damage to give the Ursa the triple kill. A massive team fight victory for Heroic.
I mean, they're playing it so well. They utilize their strengths really well. We were talking just before how Batrider is so hard to burst, so he puts himself in the front. Looks like he's out of position. They dangle the Batrider. Liquid fall for it. They say, okay, maybe we can kill him. But there's too many save mechanics. They have the Pavis ready. They have the Enfeeble Nightmare. Just a lot of things disjointing the attempt to kill the Batrider.
It looks so juicy, isn't it?
I think they even body blocked the Hoodwink ulti. Like, look right here, as the Hoodwink is charging up, looking for a chance to get him. Nope.
Onto the Ursa. Make sure Whisper survives. The proverbial anglerfish. Heroic dangling that juicy morsel, all lit up in front of Liquid. The Nightmare saves, the Essence Ring, all this tankiness keeping Heroic alive while Yuma just dishes some serious damage out.
Yeah. Back in live, they're going for more advantage as well, trying to invade the enemy triangle. There were some stacks being made, and they're going to say thank you very much, Hoodwink. These stacks belong to us now.
We're up to a 9,000 net worth lead. Ace, he's tried to come in here to contest the stacks, but stuck between Ancients and a Macro Pyre. Ursa munches on him, and Theolacore picks up the kill while Tai Lung jumps into the back for a freebie on Tofu. And look at that, Roshan's respawned, wouldn't you believe it?
Top Roche, he's going to fall very rapidly here as Ursa makes his way in, and they're playing so well together on Heroic.
Well, this is the Heroic we've come to know and love through this tournament. The Ursa, the timings, Yuma understanding how quickly he can play, and the rest of the team rallying around him when he hits his timings.
This is what they've been doing so much, and this is what Liquid very successfully stopped in the first game, but now getting their comfort zone. We have Whisper on Bat, we have Yuma on Ursa. And Tai Lung Beastmaster that T-Gov has been shouting for forever.
Top of the net worth. Look at him, 17,000.
I can see why. I can see why. He's definitely playing it insanely well. His targeting has been perfect as well. It's not just about how well he's farming, but he identifies when he needs to go on the front line or when he can go for the back line, cut deeper for even more advantage.
And we were looking at this confluence of Lincoln's timings for Liquid. One of them's here, the Weaver has it, but Storm and Bristleback still a little behind. And now Beastmaster has Orchid to pop the Lincolns to counteract those items already.
Yeah, it's taking forever to finish them. They did take some detours, right? They went for the Kaya Sanj fully, and we had the Shard over on Bristleback. But yeah, I thought they would try to get an early power spike timing with triple Lincolns, but that's been delayed a lot.
Now you're playing into Ursa Aegis for 4 minutes. Difficult to keep Heroic at arm's length from this objective bottom. Liquid just going to say, screw it, we'll push out other waves. There's some massive pink arrows there from Yuma, though, saying, hey, after this, top lane, mid lane, push it out, and force Liquid back into their base.
Yeah, they're just looking to catch. They have good heroes for pickoffs as well. You can't really ask for a better pickoff team than what they have. Anyone can set up, essentially, and that's what King Jungles is trying to do on Ace.
That's the nightmare to start it. Tai Lung follows through with the roar. Bushwhack holds them back, but they're going to break free.
Yeah, very chill as well from King Jungles, not even using his Fiend script despite the Bushwhack. He's like, it's fine, we don't need to expend any more resources. There's a nice quality of life to Bane against Bristleback where you throw the Sleepwalk on him and then that naturally turns him around.
Yeah.
Easy to focus the face.
Quick and easy lasso onto Tofu. Whisper dominating now.
This is just their lineup doing what it wants to do. This is basically heroic identity in a draft is this. Good pickoffs, dominating early game with a lot of aggression. And then, of course, the Roshan, which was, again, taken out so early.
And then, yeah, being ahead and having this Boots of Bearing, Crimson Lotus Batrider, pretty much unkillable. Yule Scepter, Solar Crest on Jakiro, Ghost Scepter on Bane. All these defensive items means it's still very challenging for Liquid to find any moments of weakness. You know, they want to find a snipe on a support or maybe catch a core unaware. With a Storm, a Weaver, and a Hoodwink, they've got all these ways to wriggle into team fights, find openings, but I don't think they've got enough control or damage to break through Heroic's itemization.
No, it's also about Heroic just doing a great job not showing alone on lanes.
Yeah.
Like, they ghost push a lot of lanes with wild access or sending out the boar to push lanes. And once they do show on a lane, it's usually with a Bane behind them ready to save.
And that's always been one of Storm's weaknesses, right? Very good at finding individual targets, stragglers, but against a 5-man death ball, hardcore push that's coming to your base now. 30 minutes in, Whisper just heads to high ground.
Sticky Napalm been stacked up a lot here. 2 out of the 3 Lincoln Spheres are done, but they're not ready.
The Arsonist has arrived. No insurance plan here for Liquid, just losing their buildings. No payback.
Nice little nightmare to keep him safe.
Keeps the bugs off him as he opens up on the melee barracks now as well. Nisha zip zap in and out. But no follow through from Liquid as they're now bunkered down in their base.
Just a few more auto attacks. That Melorax could fall fast.
Range barracks gone. Storm zips in, an opening on the bat. Nightmare save as Yuma gets poked at. Aegis gone. First life down as Heroic have to deal with the bugs on Liquid. They're in position here to hold the base. A Yule's into the sky. Ursa not going to get bushwhacked though.
Gets himself to safety, and they're going to be fine with that. Already getting the range racks. Not going to get too greedy for more, even though they have ultis ready. Aegis is gone, and they will respect it. And with the Abyssal and Ursa, their pickoff is just getting even better. You thought that you maybe could be safe showing on the lanes. It's going to amp up even more. Now you have these Lincoln breaks. The Orchid on Beasts, Abyssal Ursa.
So what's the timing we're looking for Liquid now?
I mean, it's still the same, I feel. It was the triple Lincolns, and it still is the triple Lincolns, but we're...
Approaching go time then?
Yeah, we're 400 gold away from Bristol having his.
It's like Aegis is down, you're getting these Lincolns.
At this point, though, I'm not as convinced that it feels that overwhelming, since there's a lot of Lincoln's breaks.
Right, Deep Dive Ward spotted Nisha and Boxy coming into this bottom lane. So a quick move through the gate, and maybe still a go on Nisha here, as Theolacour tries to get in on top of him. Ice Path starts. Nisha behind this tree has the Lincolns broken. Falcon zips northeast all the way back across to the wave with the TP.
A nice jump there.
Dire's
Barely
middle
gets to
tower is
safety.
under attack.
That was very close to him getting held in place. But this shows how scary the map is for Team Liquid. So yeah, the Lincolns are complete. They have all of them, but how many Lincoln's Break items do we even have now? We have Orchid, we have Abyssal, we have the Yule Scepter. So already looking at 3, plus some of them have multiple spells. Bane could break all the Lincolns on his own. It's getting complicated. Certainly not an easy puzzle to solve.
Yeah, it's a massive challenge. 13k down.
At least they have the gem on Storm, so he can D-ward, make sure that they're not playing under any enemy vision. That's basically the most dangerous thing at this stage of the game. When the enemy has such a good pickoff lineup, if you suddenly get caught standing under a ward, the game could just be over.
At least you know, as Liquid, your base is unlikely to be assaulted again until next Roche. So there is a bit of breathing room here.
Yeah, that's true. For now, Heroic are definitely just going to hold on to areas. Try and build on the lead they already have. It's Diffusal into Disperser coming out for Ursa. I like it. More Lincoln's Break, but at the same time, Mana Burn against Storm, which is great. Against Bristle, also great. And he gets a Dispel against Treant Protector. And as Liquid, I mean, I'm trying to identify how they can turn this around, but honestly, I'm a little bit flat on ideas. I think just high DPS on Weaver and hope that he gets to auto attack, but the burst damage is just faster on Heroic's lineup.
We're buying all raw defensive items, right? Storm's buying a Lotus Orb himself.
Yeah. I mean, they do have one Yules at least to kite the Ursa a little bit if he's not in BKB form. I think that's really key for them. But that Ursa is hunting for kills.
I mean, usually we'd be looking at Overgrowth into Cataclysm, some kind of big Ravage play.
Yeah, they don't have...
Or like the Bristleback with that Aghaden's Refresher build, right? We saw from Heroic previously, can dish out DPS, but here it's just tank up, stay alive, and try not to lose.
Yeah, maybe we've understated just how impactful it is that they fell on the back foot on Liquid, because their lineup doesn't have natural comeback mechanics. What I'm, expressing by that is sometimes we look towards big black holes or RP or some ability like that.
The high ground hold.
Yeah, high ground defense. They can go for maybe an Aghanim Scepter later on Storm, but what AoE do they have to dish into it? Like a Bushwhack, I guess, to chain stun?
Not much.
It's not easy for them to upset when they're that far behind.
I think Liquid need to thrive in chaos. Not allow Heroic to approach the Roche pit for free. Not allow them to approach the base for free.
Yeah, Nisha needs to work some magic, I think.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he can zip through, reveal people's position, waste some spells, Lincoln's.
It's like him in tandem with the Weaver, right? Like, Bristleback can be the focal point for Heroic, show Ace, and then the Storm and Weaver find the Bane, the Jakiro, someone in the back. It's just there are so many targets you have to kind of ignore. Like, ignore Whisper, ignore the Aegis carrier.
Yeah, and the Ursa is also going to give some presents to his friends here, because this is the third Roche. We're getting the Refresher Shard as well going out. Refresher completed on Beastmaster as well.
Immediate TP's top. Liquid have run away.
He sees the TP out, even though it's while invis. But they're all gonna dip out, so Liquid not getting caught, doing a good job staying safe. But with Aegis in hand, they're gonna start making their way over towards your building. The line has been drawn by Yuma. A 9-0 and 7 Ursa is a scary thing on its own, Gareth, but when it's piloted by Yuma, I mean, he's been looking like a god on this hero.
I was just gonna say, this series for Yuma has been pretty freaking incredible, right? The last game, his Luna was 21-8, went unkilled for what? The majority of that 56-minute game, now unkilled on the Ursa. Yuma's putting up numbers.
No, this tournament overall, it's not even just this series. Yuma has been playing outstanding. He's definitely one of the absolute top carries at this tournament.
Nisha gonna zip to try clear the wave.
Bottom tower has fallen.
They do still have the couple of catapults and the flag bearer coming in.
5k gold on Yuma unspent. Could be bringing in the Disperser mid-fight too.
Banner placed. pretty far away. Storm again gonna zip in, try and force a reaction as Bristleback walks towards them. Yuma starts to open up. Lasso into Lotus, fine. Whisper says, I'll tank this one up. Just watch the Bristle die. 70 seconds with no ace now.
Yeah, it's a long time. And the banner is keeping the catapult wave alive, and we see Batrider back to the same position we saw him before.
Front line.
Burning that building down.
Trogdor the Batrider. Whisper comes in, burninates the Radiant base, breaks through that living armor. And Boxy's gonna buy back here as Nisha lurks on the left-hand side.
He's watching, but how can they even initiate?
I mean, they jump on the bat to vortex him, but they've got to die back on Boxy now. Yuma makes short work of the Hoodwink. Buildings falling quickly, and I think Liquid out of answers, out of options.
Yeah, this Whisper Batrider, he's just going from lane to lane. He's got more buildings in his sides. He's an arsonist. He doesn't care about the people right now. This is about the buildings, man.
Got the flaming hot Cheetos going on with the cheese in his inventory as well. Down to bottom lane. Backed up by the rest of his team. Liquid got to wait for the Bristleback to respawn. Hoodwink still out for 45 seconds as Yuma forces Weaver to back away. A Zip and Vortex not really going to do much here to Yuma as he toys with them. At least Liquid have dealt with the waves, so the backdoor regen kicks in.
Backdoor regen, but that's 25 stacks of sticky napalm. They could stick around. They're going to back out though. Get the lanes.
Get the lanes.
So Ursa has the Disperser and Abyssal. He can break Lincolns on his own and jump anyone now.
Ace. The Bristleback usually feels so comfortable to frontline and be tanky. And Yuma literally doesn't care. Starts to shred into this tier 3 again alongside Whisper. Another objective down. As Nisha, he pings and says, I'm going in. A zip forward and then a zip back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole lot of mana spent, but not a whole lot happening from it.
Okay, did he placed that vision, right? He zipped in to place some observer wards. Try and give any information they possibly can. And bottom lane is pretty far away. The creeps, that is. Not approaching this Radiant base.
Yeah, but still plenty of time. They have 70 seconds on the Aegis. That's enough for them to go one more time. Ooh, a line is being drawn with a smoke. They want to go around, catch anyone who's poking the top wave out.
A kill here would be monumental for them.
Yeah.
Weaver, no buyback. Bristle,
Even
same story.
Hoodwink as well. Even getting a support is big.
And Storm trying to utilize his hero to zip out of the base to clear waves, doing whatever he can as Nisha.
Oh, they
Might
don't
not
have
see
any
this
clue.
one coming. Top lane. That smoke doesn't accomplish anything. Not yet, anyway. Mickey being looked at. Jump in from Yuma. Finds the jump on Boxy. As Hoodwink down for 50 seconds. Nisha and Mickey poking back. Ursa half health, but has the Aegis for 30 seconds still.
Yeah, still cheese over on the Batrider as well as the Refresher Shard. He's ready to drop a double lasso on someone.
Heroic, respecting Liquid and retreating now. Saying, okay, you defended your base, we'll go back and gather all the resources left on the map to us.
They do not want to throw this. They just want to hold on to their leads. We have given some criticism, you know, times that they've been in this spot and jumped a little bit too aggressively, threw it away.
Is it disciplined or is it overly cautious?
You could argue either way.
Okay.
Maybe it gives a way back for Team Liquid, you could say, but I think I struggle to see how Team Liquid are gonna turn it around, to be honest. The only way they can win it is by a fight in their base, I think. So Heroic, they're just saying, okay, let's back up, get the objectives. Tormentor's about to spawn, control some power runes.
I mean, it's been crisp the entire game from Heroic, right? No need to change things now. No need to mess things up. A perfect record through this game too.
They can also get the block of cheese now. They have 2 Greater Lotuses over on the Jakiro already.
Lovely.
And 1 on the Bane as well.
And all the pools are empty. Drained of the flowers.
Yeah, we can see them.
Bolters.
Can see them staying tied together. Respecting that Liquid have some jump potential with the Storm. And Tormentor finally spawns. Ursa is gonna quickly make short work of that.
Yeah, I've been sitting and thinking, you know, like even a Storm Aghanim Scepter, while it could be cool, we had that conversation about Black Hole and Waste, the hold high ground. Actually dishing damage into it still is the problem.
I think Mika has the right idea. He bought a Daedalus, right? He all in for damage. He queues up the BKB, but I almost feel like he has to just send it with like a rapier or something. They need to. Perhaps a nullifier wouldn't be a bad idea.
They have
Ursa too.
They have come out of their base though, Liquid. Not down and out just yet.
See the Ursa?
No
Does
Aegis.
not have Aegis. That could be the target. No Aghanim's on him either.
Oh, it would be massive if Liquid could find him.
There's Nightmare behind him though. Bane is ready to save.
Nisha from the high ground. Smoke up from Heroic. Smoke breaks. Where are you? Liquid, we know you're there.
Oh, they know the process of elimination. They realize they must be above us.
Tylung says hello with some of his wild axes.
And Liquid have to run back. They're going to get forced back in their base as the creeps are pushing in.
They're on the tier 4s. And Whisper on the hunt. Not able to get away quickly. Ace, though, with a quick Lotus Orb. Oh, Lincoln's popped.
Yeah, Lotus going to keep him safe as he cannot commit the roar. Beastmaster didn't want a BKB for that either way.
And the amount of times Nisha is zipping out onto these creep waves reminds me of that old meta where we had Storm Chen, where you would put the recall on the Storm, zip out, and then having TP back in.
That's true. I mean, he has enough mana that he can basically zip out and zip back in again as well. He's been doing that quite a bit. But yeah, they need to try and keep the creeps from going under their base.
Shout out S4 and Alliance for breaking the game. Level 25 Ursa's here, even more raw damage output as we see a Lincoln's delivered to Whisper. So another defensive tool there to protect himself or teammates.
Yeah, gonna be pretty nice, I think, against the initial jump. There are not too many ways to break Lincoln's. Storm is gonna struggle to grab him now. And Roche could spawn any time, but it's gonna be 1.5 minutes. And a few big items being eyed up. 3.5k gold on King Jungle's Bane. Aghanim Scepter would be nice for him to get his hands on.
Well, the standoff continues. One lane to defend, one lane to push into.
I mean, Team Liquid amazingly have not fallen that much more behind, even though the situation is extremely bad.
23k is nothing, Waga.
Yeah, it's nothing. Small, minor inconvenience, Gareth. But it's not
the flesh wound.
It hasn't grown to be 33,000, okay? That's the impressive part here, is that they're actually holding on to it pretty decently.
You've only chopped my arm off.
Yeah, I can still fight.
Nisha showing it.
What are you gonna do, Gareth? Bleed on them?
Nisha's gonna ball lightning on him. Kill off the creep waves, keep the lane pushed out as best as possible. And Heroic now kind of scratching their heads, wondering how do we approach this? Top lane's pushed out. Difficult to get a grab on these Liquid heroes currently. But I guess the overarching game plan is wait for Roche.
Yeah. They're waiting for win condition. One more round of Roche, get themselves their refresher shard again. They didn't even use their previous one. They still have one on Jakiro, but they're like, you know what? Our Bane doesn't have a refresher shard, so everyone will get a refresher. Ursa with the swift blink coming in soon. He's saving buyback as well, being very, very diligent, very respectful as they have the tier 2 towers still available as well. They don't want any chance for Liquid to turn it.
Mika's changed his mind going for Butterfly. Didn't want that BKB.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was hinting at with a Rapier shout earlier. They need DPS. Butterfly is probably a more sensible choice. It would be hard to hold on to a Rapier, and Butterfly will keep him a little bit safer.
So here comes 5 minutes of oppression, though.
Yeah, I don't even think it's going to be 5 minutes of oppression. I think they're going to come in swinging pretty soon. Maybe it will be a minute or two, but...
I don't know, Liquid have held on this long.
Yeah.
I've set the map up in a pretty good state here. Top lane's at the tier 2 on the Dire side. Weaver's going to clear out mid.
I mean, they are farming their items at least, getting their neutral item.
We have 9 buybacks available.
Yeah, the next fight is going to be a brawl, especially as Dire do hold the outposts, so they could TP there if they respawn, or if the buybacks are.
So what, Heroic have 8 lives in effect? Plus buybacks?
Yeah.
Versus the 10 lives of Liquid?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a bloody battle, and I think the only way that you can maybe beat Heroic is gonna be wear them down, make them run out of ultis and refreshers.
You've got to be quick with these Lotus Lincolns, though. Placing them on your allies. Try and bounce back some spells.
The push is coming. It's going to be Bat Rider going high ground.
Like maybe that's going to be the thing. Bounce back Aurora. Bounce back some of these single target abilities. Just doesn't work particularly well against Fiend's Grip or Lasso.
But this banner is pretty enormous as well. They can put it so far back.
Storm can't do the same job as before. Even had his Lincolns popped on the way through.
Look at that banner. The upgrade on banner is actually so relevant. It's so far out of reach.
With the AoE range, yeah.
Yeah, the catapults.
Miles away. And Storm's going to come in and try and say hello to Heroic.
Don't tell me this is the game plan. End the game with the catapults pushing and just protect the banner. Is that the play?
Yuma jumps in. He wants a piece of this action as well. They'll chip away at the buildings. There's just no way to get onto this banner. Like, pre-placing an Ice Path on it as well.
It'll be a few minutes, but the catapults will get the job done.
Death by 1,000 cuts. Fury swipes. Jump in onto Ursa. Dragon back with Vortex. First kill there. They blow up Yuma. Now Mickey, he's on the banner, so they can stop this game plan from happening. There's the jump back with a time lapse. Overgrowth binds them. Banner down and base held. Liquid defend their bottom barracks.
And Heroic, a little bit too scared to go in. A lot of resources committed for that defense. Weaver using his ulti as well. But with level 25 and Butterfly, Mickey is pretty damn strong at this point. Net worth be damned. I think this 29,000 net worth Weaver might just be the strongest hero.
And again, disciplined or overly cautious. Heroic slowly trying to poke at that high ground. Trying to make sure they don't make the slip up they did previously with that Beastmaster jump from Whisper.
Oh, they walked over a ward. Bane is looking for a catch.
Ah, they've TP'd out already. Weaver, Hoodwink, long gone.
Gotta be in time, get to safety. And still, it's 24,000 advantage. Liquid somehow managed to conjure enough gold in this situation to not lag more behind in gold. I mean, they do have sort of fast food delivery, the push coming in mid and top. It's very nice.
Not very nutritious.
No, it's junk food for sure. These lane creeps, they don't really give you too much gold.
But in a pinch,
But you have a lot of it, Gareth.
it'll keep you sated. Boot to travel 2 for the Ursa being picked up. So ideas there of playing that wide map and then rejoining from long range.
Okay, so previously I talked about the idea of the 3 Lincoln Spheres, but it's the 4 Lincoln.
30 minutes ago?
I think it's the 5 Lincoln Spheres is what's going to win it. You know, Tofu has his. I'm just looking at the one guy who didn't buy Lincolns. If they lose this game, we know whose fault it is.
Liquid's Exodia. Missing 1 Lincolns, are we?
He's going for an Aeon Disc. What kind of selfish item is this? You can't pass an Aeon Disc to someone.
No, you can't. Heroic.
Napalm damage. Oh boy.
Come back down bottom for another go at this lane. And without a banner this time, though, maybe a little more challenging to break up the high ground. Still playing into their vision, though. Scanning forward. They know someone is lurking in the shadows, and that would be Tofu.
Yeah, using the Bane, trying to find anybody. Realize the trees need to be taken out.
It's one of those situations where a lesser team, would have lost this 20 minutes ago, but Liquid have found all of the avenues just to plug the holes, make sure they keep bailing water out of this sinking ship.
You did touch on something very important, though. If this was a lesser team than Liquid, do you think Heroic would have been this cautious?
Perhaps not.
I feel like they are giving a lot of respect, and some of it is definitely worth it, but...
So then notoriety precedes them?
Yeah, certainly to a degree. A lot of respect.
Mecha and Nisha even out of their base. Look at them stepping forward here.
Thinking about if they can kill the Ursa. He's being accompanied by the Bane, though.
Buyback state is now down to 2 on Liquid. Treant and Bristle, the only ones holding it. But Heroic have done a full retreat across the map. They're trying to finish off this Aghanim's Blessing, this Lincoln's on the Beastmaster.
Yeah, a few more items coming in. We have the Swift Blink, of course, on the Ursa, but still no Aghanims consumed. We can get bigger. He's got the Travels level 2 getting ready. The ultra late game.
And I guess then dealing with that Lotus Lincoln's out of ace so he doesn't roar himself. But we're getting to a point now where this next Roshan, 5th Roshan, could be spawning before we see the game end. And Liquid, they're smoking out onto the map with a scan. They know someone's here. It's been a long time since they've found a kill, but a jump on Theo Core. Nightmare buys a little bit of time, yules into the sky, but there's no response. The Ghost Scepter comes, the Jakiro's finished. And the Bane TPing home. There's no more stuns, but a kill for Liquid.
There's an attempt with the overgrowth there. Not quite gonna reach him.
That's their first kill since minute 19.
Is that really true?
Unless I'm reading this wrong.
Oh my
Look at
god.
that.
Oh my god. Dude. That is something for sure.
That's wild.
That calls for celebration
Well,
right there.
first 10 kills, 51 minutes in. There you go, Liquid.
I mean, that's a moral victory, right? We can do it, guys. They have the Hex on the Storm, so...
Balmy situation.
Got some chase.
Oh, Scythe of Ice from Nishan. That's a game changer.
Yeah. I mean, this late into the game, we do head into dangerous territory where anything can happen in ultra late game in Dota. If you have the wrong connection into each other, you suddenly get jumped on the back line. Even if you're really far ahead, you might still lose. Even Dota Plus is saying it's a, you know...
A 1 in 3 chance.
It's not too far from a coin flip. Like a really bad coin, it's a coin flip.
Just land on its edge. I was actually kind of expecting that Dota Plus craft to go 50-50. I was waiting for it to move to the middle.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
It's like, oh, Team Liquid's in this game. That's basically the same as a Spectre. A Spectre of victory.
Yes.
Heroic still in a very commanding position. You know, jokes aside, they have been leading out this game and looking very, very tight. But it's getting to that situation now where that old adage, you know, net worth lead, who the hell cares if you can't break high ground and take the throne? Your lead is false.
Mika is basically gear capped at this point. He got himself the Nullifier, getting insanely strong. He can still upgrade just a little bit. Like, sure, you can go Moonshard and Aghanim's Consume. Maybe he wants to slot out the Lincolns for Satanic mid-fight or something, but...
What do you think about being able to consume a Lincoln Sphere and just having a passive on you?
Please, no. That would anything that incentivizes teams to drag out games more, I think, is in the wrong direction.
Yeah, you're right.
You should be able to do the other way around. You should be able to mulligan one of your inventory slots. You should sell a mulligan, you know, sell an inventory slot and get yourself some extra advantage. I'll play with 5 inventory slots this game. Just give me some boost.
And instead you get plus 100 damage? Or what are you thinking? I get crit. I get 20% crit. There we go.
You get a one-time item usage, you know? It's like... It's
one
like
hex.
It's a super Dagon. It does 1600 damage once.
You get to choose...
But you burn your inventory.
You get to choose to blow up one building in the enemy base.
Okay, I know which one I'm choosing.
I know which one I'm choosing as well. Tofu out of the base, gripped up and killed as Whisper and King Jungles meet him. High ground vision, of course. Understood there by Liquid that they saw that one coming.
They're waiting for Roshan. This key objective, so key that you need to take him out not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but I'm not even sure how many times it's going to be, Gareth.
Plenty.
This might not be the last one.
Myriad. That's the one. A minute to go.
1 minute for the respawn. Ursa's closing in on being able to get the full Aghanim's Consume. He's got 8k gold in the bank. 40,000 net worth overall. Again, a game where Yuma hasn't died at all. In this game, maybe a little bit less impressive than the Luna game, where he was on the back foot for such a big part of the game.
It's such a difference, though. You know, when you get into this flow, early game to mid game, you're building up pressure, ramping, heading in towards base, getting Roshans. It's all building blocks towards this key idea. We're going to end the game. Now having to take your foot off the pedal, slow down, pump the brakes a little bit. Going to jump on Mickey, but he's quickly got free.
Chasing a little bit. Gonna go in, get the D-ward.
And we talked about Liquid's resilience, but honestly, Heroic's resilience here to not throw away the game, not to get too aggressive or eager, and wait for this next Roshan to make sure they can secure it.
Yeah, definitely not too aggressive, I wouldn't say. They've been very methodical about how they want to do this. At this point, they might start talking about, oh, we can get the tier 5 item advantage, keep the opponents from getting it.
Oh, with the Roshan roar, it looks like Heroic are a little...
They're expecting Liquid to come out.
I'm concerned about the jump. I mean, there's the chance for like a storm zip to steal, right?
Yeah. That could be a double reason to delay that Roche just a little bit there. Partly go and scout if you get jumped, but also I was mostly memeing about the tier 5 items, but it does coincide with the Aegis still being up.
And there's Aurora. Tylung pops through the Lincolns, refreshes up for the double disable onto Ace, who's dead for 90. Boxy also caught outside the base. 2 heroes down and only 1 with buyback.
Yeah, no buyback in sight. He bought out the heart, so it's going to be some precarious timing. Surely now, with Aegis on the Batrider, he has been the high ground sieger, so they decide to give him the Aegis. I like that he's queued up 6 Hyperstones. He wants to attack faster.
Let's Moonshard it up. Misha continuing to just shove out the wave with a static remnant spam out of his level 25.
50 seconds on the bristleback. No sense of urgency, but they're slowly heading down towards bottom. Is he gonna get the respawn without a high ground push? There's no way.
It can't be allowed, right?
No, surely they will go.
Mid lane's approaching. Tylung catches the bottom wave to shove that in as well.
They're being awfully cautious about how they're approaching this. 20 seconds. Maybe they think the game is a lot closer than we see it to be.
Might be so, but here we go. Heroic up to high ground. See how quickly they can dispatch with these buildings. The Arsonist living up to his name. Killing off the ranged barracks. And 11 stacks of napalm on the melee.
Burn it a little bit. Liquid is striking out.
Storm zips in. Vision through the Shiva's guard. You can see there the rest of the team itching to get involved. Wanted to make a meal of that, but Heroic, another very tight defensive line here. Always falling back as a unit. No stragglers. No one left behind.
Ohana.
And his family.
You're so ready for that. Double refresher shard still. The Aghanims to Kiro and the Ursa has a refresher in the backpack. Still not really wanting to commit the Batrider onto the high ground.
I don't see what's going on, do they?
They want to catch someone, but Weaver's constantly in this.
Liquid have the info advantage. Eyes in the forest, keeping tabs on Heroic. Whisper just edging forward. Smoke, jump forward. Lincoln's pod, BKB used. He wants to commit. Overgrowth is there, though. Backing away as his Nightmare saved and gets out. Still holding Aegis. Storm, well, he zipped in to kill it. So now the Aegis is gone, and Liquid haven't lost that final lane of barracks.
They're healing it. Treant Protector trying to fix it. Finally, we have a block of cheese.
Lovely.
There we go. It's been so long that they could have made it. They decided, you know what? It's cheese time. 1 minute for the next wave of items coming in.
Tier 5 neutrals as well. Coming up shortly.
They're pinging the racks. They're saying we should go for it. It is low HP still. Glyph is available for Radiant. He eats the cheese. The block of cheese. The entire thing.
Gobbles it up. I want to make a move. Mickey playing out of the base. Looking to get on top of someone here. Storm forcing a reaction, and the way Liquid are playing with such confidence, they know this is a losing game, but Heroic are just getting shoved away from base over and over again.
Yeah, Liquid are playing like they have nothing to lose. They're like, I think they feel like this game should have been lost a long time ago, so now they're starting to play with confidence, just going out there saying, you know what?
Yeah.
We're not scared.
Do we start buying Hands of Midas now to get these Madstone bundles to get your neutral items faster?
We could definitely see some purchases for that. I mean, Treant has a refresher orb. He could get one next, but he doesn't have the gold.
The full Midas is going. I mean, 60 minutes about to hit. 34,000 net worth lead has felt, I don't want to say meaningless, but the bash. He's got the stun. Never mind.
Gonna be fine.
Never mind. I got a bit hyped there.
Didn't really have Bane close enough. No chain stun.
What were we talking about? Neutral item?
Midases?
Midases?
Yeah. I mean, so far we're not seeing any of that, but we are seeing Dire clearing out a lot of the jungle creeps. Everybody is clearing a jungle camp right now. They're getting all their items. Not really focusing on restricting Liquid, but instead getting theirs as soon as possible. We'll see what they get their hands on.
There's just so many good items, right? Divine Regalia, Stygian Desolator, Minotaur Horn.
Spiderlinks are not bad. Fallen Sky also pretty decent here for Ursa. He's gonna go Fallen Sky. Get that jump in.
Tower damage.
Yeah, we have one Necrobook as well already picked up over on the Beastmaster. 2 Necrobooks as King Jungle.
Oh,
has
here
one.
we
3
go.
Necrobooks. Oh, God.
Sick and tired of you defending your base. Let's send the swarms of army.
Oh.
Necro units in. Here they come. Start chipping away into the barracks.
This is the strat. Necrobooks.
A banner on the catapult behind as well, giving cover here for Heroic to start again chipping away at this final lane of buildings.
This barracks will never fall, Gareth. It is unbreakable. Liquid will hold
Incredible.
it.
Just an just impregnable base here from Liquid. They've got a moat, they've got a bunker. The Bane is falling quickly. The damage out of Mickey, enough to kill King Jungles. Buybacks available for the Bane, but a catch on Yuma here. Forces the BKB. Tai Lung also. BKB Lincoln's Overgrowth comes, has to refresh. He's on the run, but he's in trouble. Tai Lung's dead. Liquid, the Nisha Storm, he is held in place and falls quickly. Buyback out of Nisha now as Tai Lung also does the same. TP's in, Mickey time-lapse is out. Ace front lines and holds them back. The Hex on Ursa, Liquid, a triple for Mickey. No fucking way!
They're doing it, man. They're going.
What am I watching? Mickey, what a beast, gets an ultra kill.
They're back from the dead somehow. He has 15,000 gold on Mickey, dude. He's so fucking rich.
What is going on?
Start buying some shards for your entire team. They're getting out on the map for the first time in a long time.
Incredible scenes. Right, what was it, 34k lead? Nothing, down at 20.
And more importantly, 2 buybacks were used on Dire. They lost the fight, they expended more buybacks. So yes, Storm doesn't have buyback. He's gonna have to play so cautiously on Nisha now not to get caught out. But it's them with the win condition.
The first time they break that defensive line, Bane, the straggler.
Look at the Treant here. Gets the immediate ulti in a little bit when they start running away with Beastmaster. He forces the first or the second BKB, but then the refresher on Treant holds him even longer, gets the DPS in there.
Oh, it's just so good. And the buyback from Nisha, like, they did have to expend it.
It's almost like killing Storm is a mistake there, because he respawns and then he has mana to zip in and take a long fight.
Full resources. Straight back into it.
Yeah, back in live, they have been farming up some of their items, by the way. They have the Stygian Desolator on Weaver, massive minus armor, and he also has the Boundless on that.
And Liquid playing as though they've got a bloody repair kit, the way they've kept that bottom barracks alive. Frustration's starting to kick in here from Heroic.
Yeah, not feeling good about how this is progressing.
They've halved the net worth lead. 15k, 13k, just keeps on dipping.
Yeah, this is...
Mariana Trench there in the graph as Tofu, okay, does get picked off. Buyback available though.
Nicely played together there, gets one isolated target.
Roshan number 6. How long? A minute to go.
And this is a Roshan they're gonna be able to fight for as well on the side of Liquid. They get the Tormentor, it dies in a second. Aghanim's is the next item for Weaver. He has already consumed Moonshard. Aghanim's is consumed. He is literally getting to gear cap.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under
An evolved Book of the Dead for Ace.
And these Book of the Deads are almost better than the Book of the Deads the Heroic got, because this will allow them to scout, get out there, get information, send some vision in.
And proxy push, like ghost push, right?
Yeah. It's really, because I don't think you can siege high ground with the Necrobooks as easily as you can scout the map.
No, like top lane being shoved in. That's all thanks to those Necro warriors of Nisha. Liquid starting to feel themselves. How many holds did we have? How many Roshans, Aegises have they actually fought through?
You know, I think this is one of the first times I've actually seen someone take the Wise augmentation for a tier 5 item, but it makes sense on Storm. The extra mana is really nice as an addition to the experience per minute as well. He's gonna get himself to level 30. The bouncing overload attacks is a serious DPS increase as well. Roche is up.
Well, yeah, watching Storm's XP counter just tick up. And Roshan, number 6, he's spawned up and is wondering why there's still heroes on the map. What is going on out here?
He's a pretty strong Roche. He has 60 armor. Like, sure, they can kill him, but it's not that fast anymore.
Boxy scouting, sharpshooter into the pit.
Yeah, and this is where the Necrobook value comes in. Scouting the field. Both teams have access to it, of course.
Liquid have to continue maintaining lanes. Top has to be dealt with as Mickey contends with all the Necro Warriors and Archers. Don't forget them.
Nisha not gonna get caught on the mid lane, just pushing it out. Power Rune is spawning, both teams vying for control.
And just keep going back to the itemization from Liquid. These Lincolns and Lotuses just make it so challenging for Heroic to have the easy jumps, right, they had in the first 25 minutes. No longer simple.
They're gonna poke back into the Roche. The shield rune is really nice for Yuma.
Another bellow from Roche, roaring, giving the signal to Liquid that he's being dealt with. Half health Roshan.
There's definitely gonna be a zip.
A sharpshooter again.
Feel it. Backing out.
Hoodwink the spotter. Nisha the zipper gets into the back line, sees where Yuma's sitting. Bottom has to be pushed though. As Whisper has come into the base, the Batrider cyclones himself, but he's dying to Mickey. That gives Heroic the Roche though. So Whisper dies, has his buyback, and now we've got Aegis, Refresher, Cheese, Lizard for Heroic.
I mean, they get it, but I wonder if it's even worth it. That was a planned move, right? He TP'd bottom, he knew he would die. That was already premeditated. The question is it okay to die and get the Aegis there, or is Liquid going to be able to make something happen?
Don't ask me questions, Wagga. I don't know what's going on.
It's so... it's a dangerous choice, is what I'm saying.
Dead even by the odds pretty much there. As we've seen Heroic go from a winning position to now being in a level playing field. Liquid just keep tipping the scales, putting their thumb on the scales.
And we have Yuma with 12k gold Rapier in the quick buy. Hard to fill his inventory with any more items, though. He's gonna buy one Rapier. It's on the courier.
Yeah, 12,000 gold to spend. Gotta buy something.
So, does look like Batrider will get to respawn quite safely, but there is a smoke attempt.
Yuma's alone at top.
Oh, nice scan. Defensive scan.
He scans and blinks. TP's out.
He's completely fine. Gets out of the area.
Wasn't too far away from being caught, though.
Yes. As long as he gets to respawn safely on Batrider, the move worked out. They got the Aegis, didn't lose anything important for it. And now the counter smoke.
Take a breath, take a beat. Bottom lane, smoke up down here again. They're hunting and looking to reward the area, get themselves prepped for another high ground push.
1.5 minutes for the Aegis, or for the buyback timing on Storm Spirit. I think they're trying to make a play before that. That's also their buyback timings though on Beast and Bane.
Super important. Nisha currently thinking about shoving that top wave with the Necro Warriors. Ursa jumps on Boxy, but he's got the Aeon Disc. And Yuma gets away from Mickey. Scary amount of damage following through. Bane, Nightmare saves. Yuma, he's dead though. And an overgrowth with Ace's damage. Fear of the Core and King Jungle's dying. Fiend's Grip on the Storm, but there's no damage to follow through. 3 heroes dead and 1 gone for 2 minutes.
Team Liquid, it just seems destined to be, man. They were so far behind, they were so far down, and they just seem to have this protagonist buff to them right now.
In a game that seemed inevitable for Heroic.
They're just going to win, man. You can't take it away from them.
No way. A 56% chance. 57 for Liquid.
I think it's higher right now. I think it's way higher.
No Bane for 100. They're coming for you now. Liquid. They sense blood in the water. They've seen how passive you've been, how deliberate and defensive you've played.
Bane is going to have buyback soon.
Close to 50k damage done, straight towards the tier 3 tower. Mid lane, Barracks about to be dealt with here as they force the glyph out of Heroic.
Weaver DPS from so far away is insane. This extra range from his neutral item along with Hurricane Pike.
1,071 last hits.
I mean, look at that. One volley takes out the tower.
The buildings just crumble.
I think I've never seen a Weaver this farm. This is fucking crazy, man.
Absolute insanity. They're going to go for Megas. Bane is brought back, but Mickey's dealt with your tier 3. Bottom lane, Bat trying to trade out. Looks like he's dealing with the backdoor protection. Trying to set up with a Treant going on, and Whisper might be in trouble, but he gets the job done. Now they move in onto the Weaver. Tai Lung, the roars. Weaver's caught out, but he's not dead yet.
Still alive.
Mickey stays alive. Nisha into the back lines where the grip comes in. They've killed the Storm.
Weaver still DPSing, kills the Beast.
Mickey from long range. The Beastmaster down for 2 minutes, but Ace, same story. Buybacks on all 3 of those cores.
Ooh, the Ice Path just a second too late. Not gonna catch the Weaver.
And bottom lane Barracks did die. So what is it now? Megas versus Megas?
Megas versus Megas. And he got out safely as well on Whisper. That is crazy, man. This game.
71 minutes.
And now it's anyone's game, really. It's so open. There's one single player without buyback right now, and that's Bane. Everybody else is ready.
So does everyone say, let's just wait for them to respawn? They don't want to spend buybacks, do they?
Yeah,
We're waiting for next Roche? 7th Roche, Waka?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Why not?
Why not? More
Why not?
Roche?
Indeed.
What about the Tormentor? Is there any player who doesn't have shard by now?
I think everyone should have theirs right now.
There's a few players who still don't have Aghanim Scepter.
Oh.
We almost have a full Aghanim Shard and Aghanim Scepter on Team Dire.
And then Yuma with his rapier still in courier, right?
Yeah.
Waiting for his moment to shine.
Yeah, he's ready to send it out, but I mean, it's just difficult to juggle out some item for him as well.
And especially now he's against Mega Creeps. He doesn't really want to get rid of Battle Fury, right?
Yeah, he
Might just have to.
puts the Battle Fury into the backpack. He's considering if he can swap around the items. I think if there's a fight in his base, he can put the rapier in his inventory. And yeah, of course, the 6 Necrobooks are definitely doing a lot of ghost pushing, so this game is ever more volatile. Everyone is freed up to make moves.
It looks like everybody's going to be alive, so we're going to be in that situation where it's just the Bane without the buyback. And Jakira will get his 70 gold, no problems.
Yeah.
But Heroic, it feels like they've deserved their pound of flesh in this game. Liquid, though, with a 2k lead. I cannot believe how they've managed to weasel themselves into this position through itemization, through defensive posture, bringing that game dead to even. They had that long period, what was it, from minute 19 to 50 without a kill? I don't know what the math is there, but all of a sudden a flurry of action on the graph.
Yeah, I mean, 2,000 lead. By the way, the overall gold is like 180,000 per team, so it's insane how closely matched this is at this state of the game.
We've gone past 50 minutes into percentage minutes.
Yeah, we can see the rapier, and so can Liquid. They spotted the Ursa has equipped the rapier.
Space-time is warping on the graph. Well, Ursa Rapier, definitely a game changer. That's what Heroic will try and levy to their advantage.
If we gets his hands on that, though, that would be absolutely terrifying.
Oh, it's game over, potentially. And Liquid looking for this killer move. They're going to go for the jugular, heading down mid, run it down towards the tier 4s and throne. Lines
forward.
drawn on the map. There's Lotuses on the floor, there's Necro Warriors and Archers waddling around and looking for info as Mickey pokes his head around the tree line.
They can sense it, though. Heroic are reacting pretty well to this, putting down Vision, sitting behind Yuma. They have to focus the Weaver. Weaver's DPS is absolutely unmatched in this game.
But Nisha has done such a good job just hurling his body into the midst.
Yeah. Guys demanded the attention. They could still wait up for Nisha's Aghanim Scepter, actually. It's not a bad idea to let him finish that. Against these Lincoln Spheres as well, he wouldn't have to worry about it. And maybe he could grab multiple heroes.
And we come back to that discussion about black holes and ravages, right? Having this storm with a blue hole definitely could
It's
do
coming.
the job. More neutral items, though. 74 minutes in.
Yeah, he's purchased up everything. Aghanim's Consume coming in for the storm.
And the Ursa considering what exactly he wants.
I mean, at this point, it's hard to buy much more. Surprised he didn't buy a Moonshard for himself, at least. I mean, yes, you almost always have overpower, but it gives you a bit of night vision, too. We're about to head into nighttime here. Seeing the enemy first is insanely important in this game.
And Treant now no longer has to keep putting living armor on a building over and over again. Can start looking at living armoring his allies, putting them on some of these creeps as they push out the waves and get onto the tier 4 towers. Slowly does it.
Big tower damage done. Necrobooks go.
Like, not even joking, like every little helps.
Roche is back and he's added even more armor. He hits for 600 damage per hit, by the way. Almost 700.
Oh, monster.
You don't want to fight him.
Big man sitting in his cave. He's just chilling in there. And Nisha going to start things off with Mickey alongside. Ice Path, a little annoying, just giving the indication there that Heroic not giving this one up without a fight. Both teams in position to control the pit. Boars scouting inside, Mickey clears them out. And then the armies of Necro Warriors battling it out.
It's a proxy battle. It's a drone war.
You don't want to fight each other head to head, just send the little squirmy summons in.
Okay, DD over on Ursa.
Oh, hello.
Bit of extra damage, hitting for almost 1,000 per hit.
Liquid say, screw Roshan. We don't need number 7.
They get a new volley of neutral items as well. They can swap into... I've never seen that in Aurora Gaming that I've watched.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Ursa's still sitting and wondering what he wants to upgrade here.
Yeah.
Holding his Fallen Sky. Might go for a Book of the Dead if he needs it.
Not one more.
You want more? I mean, look at Whisper. He's got the Fallen Sky and he's in the enemy base. Not sure what the goal is here. Maybe courier snipe or... He's moving.
On another Moon Shard. Oh, he wants to try and base race it.
No way.
Oh, they have backdoor. Okay, poke the reaction.
TP from Storm. Nisha zips in and forces BKB. So Liquid, full retreat. Do come back to their base to defend, but that's half HP on that remaining tier 4 tower. Now Liquid spring into action again. Another smoke. TP's all on cooldown. Good thing to notice there because Heroic could go back for another play the same.
They have so much vision on Liquid. All these treant eyes in the forest. Scouting with the Necrobooks as well.
Summons on the front. Giving vision towards the pit. So Heroic, no, Roshan's being done. Nisha though with a hex in the vortex. Ursa Nightmare saved. Yuma breaks free. Bushwhack annoying, but Yuma's alive. Stays up and running, at least for now.
Roche is falling.
He is. The almost 2,000 crits out of Mickey is going to secure them. The Aegis on Weaver. Bat Rider. He flame break, push back. He has no BKB. Whisper, he's dying here.
Roche and a takedown. A single hero can mean so much at this stage of the game. There's no way he's going to peacefully get to respawn as well. Not with Aegis over on Mickey's Weaver.
Liquid. Can they force the bat buyback?
I mean, they're definitely going to head in. There is no doubt in my mind. They are moving forward. They've been on the back foot for so long.
Divine Mickey. Eon Disc. Fiend's Grip. Ice Path comes. That's an Aegis Weaver though as Tylon commits. Ace moves forward. Storm zips to the back. Yuma has to BKB and retreat now as Bat buys back. Tylung running back to high ground as the Jakiro's focus. Nightmare buys some time, but his death is inevitable. Heroic.
Ursa doesn't have BKB anymore.
Buybacks being used. BKBs expended. And Liquid knocking on your door.
Liquid have 0 BKBs that they need to rely on. All their cores are playing without it. In a better spot right now.
And they've got the AoE living armor. Look at them go in. Nisha dives, poking at Tylung and King Jungles. Jakiro buys back as in the back. Yuma made a move. Has to retreat though as he spent his enrage and the jump is spent as Tylung nullified, forced back the fountain. The damage on the buildings now comes to fruition from Liquid though. Tier 4's gone and Yuma in trouble. He's dying. The bat has died back. The Ursa, he'll return, trying to deal with the Weaver, but Mickey has the time lapse. Turns, slays Tylung. Jakiro's done as well. Mickey, oh, he's too good. The strong Weaver stands his ground, and Yuma is going to get finished off as well. Heroic have nothing left, Wagga. Gigi's called. Liquid have done it.
I can't believe what I'm seeing, dude. What a hold by Liquid and Heroic. It seemed like it was inevitable that they were going to win.
What a game!
For so long. I think they broke Gareth. He's just wandering in circles.